Welcome to another Saturday. It's episode 77, I think, of Geeks of the Roundtable. Happy Labor Day weekend to every American viewer out there, to my American co-host, my American guest. Just happy long weekend to everyone. I am joined, as always, by my co-host, Zach Pope. How are you doing today, Zach?
Exhausted, but ready for this, and I'm glad we have an awesome guest today. It's great to be getting more guests back, and that the internet doesn't want to be off our side. Because it used to be either your internet's shitty or my internet's shitty, but it seems like it's
we took turns.
Yeah.
We took turns. At least it was fair in that regard. But of course, we have an awesome guest. It's been a while since we had her on the show. Tessa from Mama's Geeky. How are you doing today, Tessa?
Good. Thanks for having me back today. I'm so excited. It's good to see you guys.
It's an important episode to have you on. So
yes.
It's Shang-Chi,
We're
man.
excited to have you.
I just saw it again last night, so I'm
Same?
ready.
Oh, good.
Yes, perfect.
Guys, I took my friend's opening night. Like, I took one of my best friends who wants to go to... Like, he loves Marvel. It's his favorite thing. That's all he goes to the theater for. And he was not excited at all for this movie. Didn't want to see it. I had to literally convince him. I'm like, it's our tradition. I literally told him, I'm like, we've been doing this since Iron Man dude, like, you can't just skip out on Shang-Chi because you don't want to see it. I took him, and he walked out flipping out about it. It's his second favorite Marvel film now.
Really?
Besides Winter Soldier. Yep. He loved it. Like,
that's awesome.
And my audience flipped out about it. Like, I am so happy to see how many people were flipping out about this movie just as much as we all were for so long. So
my husband was like, I don't care. This is one I don't care to see. Like, he was happy I saw the press screening because he's like, that means I don't have to go opening weekend. Like, I'll watch it when it comes to Disney Plus. And I'm like, you will not wait to watch this till it comes to Disney Plus. What is wrong with you? Like, are you crazy? It's going to be 45 days. And then, like, where's your brain at? And then he ended up getting out of work early yesterday and was like, all right, well, why don't we go to the theater where you can like order dinner and just make it an experience? And then he was like, wow, that was really good. I was like, I know.
Exactly.
It was really good.
So everyone in the chat, if you still have not seen Shang-Chi, go see it. Like right now. Like stop watching this.
Yeah, we'll be here when you get back.
I'll tell you to stop watching this. Stop watching this. Go watch it. Well, especially you're gonna have to because we are gonna talk about the end credit scene. We are gonna talk about the end credit scene.
But when it comes to that part, I'll put up this Shang-Chi. I'll put him up right here, and whenever he's up, we'll be talking about spoilers, and then I'll take him out when we're done. So don't worry.
I was just about to mention how my favorite part is when Mickey Mouse shows up and literally kicks the shit out of Shang-Chi.
I like when Camila Cabello's Cinderella showed up. That was my favorite.
Yeah, and then James Corden, right? And then James Corden.
James Corden. He makes every movie better.
Exactly.
Oh man. All right, everyone, before we get to the news, let's quickly do a weekly ranking, as we do every week. Zach and I didn't actually see a lot of stuff this week, so this will be a very fast one. So, last place, I didn't see anything bad this week, at least yet, because I'm going to watch Cinderella tonight. But right now, my weekly ranking goes The Night House, which I really liked, but that comes in last place. Okay. In second place comes Shang-Chi, which I rewatched yesterday. And in first place, this week's episode of Marvel's What If?
Oh, yeah.
Because I think it's probably the most important episode. We probably should have made a topic out of it, but there's already so much to cover with Shang-Chi alone. But this week's What If you have not seen it, if you're not watching What If, watch just this episode, because I think we're going to need this episode. It's the only episode.
I'll talk about it when I do my weekly ranking right now. So my weekly ranking is, and I haven't reviewed all these movies yet. All my reviews are coming next week, but I can still talk about them. At the bottom is Kate. I like this one. It seems like it's getting a lot of hate. Tessa gave it a positive review. I liked it. I thought
liked it a lot.
Kate is getting
It was
hate.
entertaining. Yeah, it was entertaining for the most part. The action's great, and Weinstead was freaking awesome in the role. It's pretty generic for the story, but I liked it. Like it's like Extraction last year. Like there's not a deep story to it, but the action's good and it's an enjoyable movie. Next is everybody's talking about Jamie. I'm not a huge fan of musicals, so it takes a lot for one to win me over. This one didn't fully win me over, but I still enjoyed it for what it was. The creative set.
You can talk about that one already?
Yeah, that's what I read. Oh, okay. Okay, I'll just say that. I
can say I watched it like a month ago, and you'll have more than just a review about that movie. That's all I'll say. You Tessa and Zach know what I have for it, but you guys will know in time.
Give me a second.
He's gonna check. He's like, oh.
Now you scared me.
You
Yeah,
haven't said too much,
on
so
Rotten
you're fine.
Tomatoes. It's on Rotten Tomatoes, so I'll talk about
Okay.
it. So. Okay. I was like, I messaged the rep. I was like, can I talk about it? Because I just wanted to post it on Letterboxd before I forgot it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No,
So yeah, I enjoyed it. Definitely, I didn't love all the songs in it, but I thought, let me just say this: Richard E. Grant always steals the show. Doesn't matter what the movie show is, the guy is perfect. My next one is I'm not going to include Shang-Chi this week, even though I saw it again. But my number one of this entire week is Marvel Studios' What If Episode 4. This is just like how one of my favorite episodes of WandaVision was, I think, Episode 8. The one when she goes back in time with Agatha and stuff like that and revisits everything. This episode was like, oh my God. And it's funny, when I first watched it, I didn't know how to feel about it. I really dug it. And if you watch my review, I was very on edge, like I didn't know where I was. So literally, as I was uploading my review, I'm like, I'm gonna watch it again because it's gonna take 20 minutes for this review to upload. Watched it again, and I literally had to pin a comment and went, I was fucking wrong. This is great. Ignore any cons I had about this episode because this was a phenomenal episode, and
we won him over, Tessa.
Yay!
I'm back. This was an incredible, just emotional, and I just felt like my heart was ripped out in the middle at like 1 o'clock in the morning when I watched it. So.
I was like crying. It was sad.
What if every viewer of this episode lost their heart? That's the real title.
Exactly. That's what you should have titled the podcast episode.
That was sad. I don't know what I watched this week. Let's see. What did I watch this week? It's been a long week. So obviously the What If for me, I'm gonna go the other way because that's like top.
Okay.
Because I loved that episode. What else did I watch? So I watched Kate, which I enjoyed. I'm not even ranking. I'm just telling you what I watched because I'm looking at my list here of like what I wrote this week. Oh, you know what? Stargirl episode 5. It comes out next week, but I just watched it. And it's actually, I feel like this season is really starting to find its footing because something I have a problem with.
This is season 2, right?
This is season 2.
Okay.
And something I have a problem with this show, and a little bit with Titans, although season 3 is really good, and I'm waiting for the next screener. It's killing me where I am right now.
Do I need to watch, Tessa, do I need to watch 1 and 2?
No.
Do I have to? No?
Just read like a recap, and you'll be fine.
Okay, because I've tried so many times to watch 1 and 2, and I just gave up.
Read like you can go on like Wikipedia and read like, this is a paragraph of what happened, and you'll be fine. Okay. And just know who's who, and you'll be good. But the problem I have with those is that they have so many characters that they jump back and forth so much, even in one episode, and you're like, wait, and then the episode's over, and you're like, I feel like nothing happened. I got like this much of this person's story and this much. But this Stargirl episode 5 actually really is starting to bring in the big bads, where we're getting Eclipso, which I'm excited about, and some really good stuff. And Titans is really good this season. I watched the first 6 forever ago, so episode 7 is coming up this next week. But episode 6, which was this past week, is one of my favorites. And I just got The Voyeurs, which I'm excited to watch. I haven't watched it yet.
I didn't rank that one. I don't know. I don't know if I can rank that one.
Oh, because it's not.
I don't know. I won't rank it. I won't rank it. It comes out next week. I'll rank it next week.
But so I got excited because you said I should watch it. That's all I'll say. So and then Cinderella is the dead bottom for me. Okay. Awful.
Unsurprisingly,
I low-key kind of want to still watch Cinderella, like just as a hate
watch it. Just hate watch.
I'm gonna watch it.
You have to go in not wanting to enjoy it. I was telling people, I have an 8 and a 10-year-old daughter, and they both like 20-30 minutes and were like, do we have to watch this still? And then they like left me alone.
You would think they would want to. That's for kids. I mean,
I know. Right? It's supposed to be for kids, but that's the other thing. It's supposed to be for kids, but then they make jokes like talking about peeing out their front tails, like when they're humans, and you're like, that's gross. Why are you saying that in a kid movie? Like, I don't know.
Traumatic.
I'm glad my kids didn't see that part because they'd be like, "What's a front tail, Mom?" Yeah. I don't have a front tail.
There was this girl I dated in high school, and I remember her little sister was probably like 6.
Where's this going?
We were all eating dinner.
Front tail, right?
Yeah, no, dude, we're eating dinner, and she walks up and she goes, "Why don't I pee out my front?" And we're like, "What? What? What'd you say?
What?"
And then she goes, "Yeah, all the boys at kindergarten told me they pee out their front. I want to do the same." She just kept sitting there saying that. And, I had to turn around because I'm like, I can't sit.
I would leave the room out of sheer awkwardness.
I wanted to, dude.
Nope. Goodbye.
You know what else
all
I
right.
forgot I watched? I watched Language Lessons, but it's still under embargo.
Oh.
But I like it a lot.
I saw that too. Well, I saw it at South by, so I guess I could talk about it because that's not under embargo.
Well, you can technically talk about it.
I can talk about it. Did you see Plan B? Did you see Plan B?
No, I haven't seen Plan B. But
Same
really
director. Plan B is so underrated. That movie surprised the hell out of me. I had someone at a screening tell me to go watch it. I was like, okay. So I watched the next day at work. I'm like, this is awesome. It's super bad for girls. Like it's literally super bad.
Really?
Yeah. It's very inappropriate.
I'll find it.
It's really good. It's on Hulu.
Oh, it's out already? Oh, perfect.
Yeah, it's out. It's been out for months. Yeah, so it came out of nowhere. It just got dropped. So, yeah, enjoy it.
All right, before we move on to our first official topic, we have 2 weekly rankings over here. Movie fan number 1, The Babysitter rewatch. That's one of the biggest surprises I've ever had with a film. Not gonna lie, I love that movie so much. Babysitter Part 2, which is not as good, so yes, that one's behind Babysitter Part 1, I guess. SAS Red Notice, don't know what this is. He's All That, and then Good on Paper. So there is a movie that is worse than He's All That, surprisingly. So I'm gonna put a red cross on top of that movie for me. I'm not gonna watch that. If it's worse than He's All That, wow.
I couldn't even finish that. I watched like 15 minutes and I was like, I think I'm good.
You don't have to finish. You're not losing anything on missing it out. Gico EP weekly ranking 6 Snake Eyes. It sucked. It sure did. Number 5 Iron Man 2. Number 4 Iron Man 3. I like it. The Mandarin twist is funny. I still don't think it's funny. Shang-Chi at number 3. I loved it. Number 2 Kung Fu Hustle. Love this movie. And number 1, What If Episode 4. Depressing as fuck. It is. It is depressing as fuck.
My manager emailed me the day after it came out, and he goes, "What in the fuck did you make me watch?" Because he hasn't watched What If yet. I'm like, you need to watch it. You'd like it. And he got to episode 4, and he goes, "That was like the most depressing 20 minutes of my life." And I'm like, that's what I love about it. It's What If.
I know, but I think this one might have future implications.
I do too. I was texting my sister's like all into the Marvel universe now, and I was like, "Are you watching What If?" And she goes, "No." I'm like, I'm just gonna say you need to watch it. And my girlfriend, so we did our ranking comes out today, I think at 8:00. But she has not seen Falcon or Loki, but she's been watching What If. Oh, okay. And she doesn't get everything about like why is What If happening. I'm like, you need to watch Loki. Mm-hmm. Like, you need to watch Loki. So she's 3 episodes in and she's like, I love this. I'm like, I've been telling you for 5 months to watch it. Like, it's great.
Don't you love when people finally listen to you and you're like,
yes,
this is what I've been telling you.
This is what we do. Like, this is like when I tell you, like my friend watched Snake Eyes. He goes, that was the worst film I've ever seen. I was like, I told you not to watch it, and you wasted 2 hours of your life.
I haven't seen it yet still, and I'm like,
you don't have to.
You're good.
Especially after Shang-Chi, it even looks worse.
Yeah, is it? I'm sure it's like.
It's worse.
All right, everyone. For our first main topic, big news that broke earlier in the week, like Monday or Tuesday. Big surprise. The Rocketeer is returning with the literal title, The Return of the Rocketeer. David Oyelowo producing and possibly starring in the film. I love The Rocketeer. It's the best pulpy superhero movie like that harkens back to the serials of the 40s and the 50s. It's got this like pure Indiana Jones, Jungle Cruise, Pirates of the Caribbean vibe to it. I cannot wait to see this. I don't know if it should be in theaters, depending on how much of a budget they're going to have. I still want to see who's going to direct it. I think Taika Waititi, I know we bring up his name a lot. I think he'd be a really good choice for this. So I'm very excited, and David Oyelowo is just one of the best actors working today. Tessa, what do you think about this news? Are you a fan of The Rocketeer? Have you never seen The Rocketeer? What are your thoughts?
So I've seen it like maybe 2 or 3 times, and when I would tell and like forever ago. So I saw the news and I went, oh, I have to watch that again. And like, oh, the girls will probably love it. Like they're at a good age where they'll enjoy it. And then my husband's like, how have you only seen it like 3 times? He's like, I've probably seen it 60 times. It's one of the best movies ever. Like, he loves it. So he's like over the moon excited. So we've actually decided, because of this news, we're gonna bring it to the girls and we're gonna watch it soon, maybe even this weekend. So
is it on Disney Plus? I'm pretty sure it is, right?
I think it is.
Over here it is at least.
It's probably over here too.
I'm sure it is.
The only thing we don't have is Buzz Lightyear Star Command, which is still annoying to me, but whatever.
Are you a little bitter there, Zach? That's your favorite, I know.
I love that show. So even though it probably doesn't hold up nowadays, to be honest, but still,
you'll still sit
a lot
and
of
watch
those
it.
Disney shows are,
but I'm really excited about this. And listen, Taika, that's another thing I just watched. Actually, last night I watched the first 2 episodes of What We Do in the Shadows, season 3. That was really good.
Still haven't seen it, but I'm very excited.
You haven't seen it?
No.
You gotta watch them. So they dropped 2 episodes to start. So really good. I mean, Taika's brilliant, and he can do no wrong. So, but yeah, so Rocketeer. I'm excited. That's what I'll say. I'm excited because now I get to rewatch it because it's been a while since I've seen it.
Yeah, same. And I haven't even watched it 2 or 3 times. I've only seen it once. So Zach, what are your thoughts on this? I saw you tweet about it. You said it should be in theaters, so I guess you're excited.
So it's funny. I've only seen The Rocketeer once. I've only seen it once, and that was like maybe 2 years ago, and I loved it. But the other thing I want to say is that I've read like comics with him. Like that's how I knew about The Rocketeer growing up, was like books, comics, stuff like that. Because I think there's a comic run with him and Captain America, if I'm not wrong. Unless that's just me dreaming. But the reason I was excited about this is David Oyelowo. He's literally one of the most underrated actors in Hollywood. This dude kills it. Selma should have been nominated. Absolutely still baffled that he never was. And I just feel like his career has never hit that point where it was a high point. But the Return of the Rocketeer, that's just exciting. Now, I want to put out, and I don't think he would do this. Maybe he would, since I know he's doing another thing for Disney Plus right now. But Peter Jackson, I would love to see him tackle the Rocketeer. I think that would be freaking awesome. He hasn't really done a film. Like, he's been doing documentaries since The Hobbit. But I was like, let's get him back on board for this. I'm hesitant that it's going to Disney Plus first, but I understand they do need content other than just Marvel, Star Wars, and Pixar holding it all up right now. So I understand it, but this is another thing where when you get like a cast like this and just the concept of it, and especially the return, probably bringing it into modern day, bring this on the big screen. I think this would be a really cool thing. So yeah, I'm gonna knight it. I'm really excited for this.
I think it depends on budget, though. Like Ryan
that's
said.
that's true.
If they don't have the budget on the big screen, it could be a mess. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
For sure. So I'm guessing this is a unanimous right from the 3 people right now present at the round table. Zach, uniting this?
Absolutely.
Alrighty. Tessa, what about you? What's your verdict?
Oh yeah, for sure, knighting it. Yep.
Yeah, all right. I'm nodding it too. All right, let's move on to our second topic today. And Zach, take us into our second topic, my friend, because it's a big one.
DC Fandom is coming back October 16th, beginning at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now, if you guys have... Hey, Patrick's here. What's up, Patrick?
Oh my God, Mike's going to be here.
For DC
Hey,
Fandom,
guys, how we doing?
I'm great. You just crashed the party.
That was a surprise. Like, whoa, hey!
I didn't have it on the screen. I had the article up, so I'm like, what the fuck is
okay.
Okay, so going back, so DC Fandom was a big thing last year. I absolutely loved the first day they did. The second day I didn't even attend. I thought it was. I tried some things. It just wasn't for me. The first day blew it out of the park, and it's smart. It's a one-day thing this year, and I loved it. It's the busiest day for anyone working in this industry because you pretty much sit at your computer and you wait like a patient little baby waiting to get your diaper changed because you're just sitting there. What trailer is going to drop next? But the funny thing is every trailer that dropped, it got leaked 30 minutes beforehand last year. Yeah, every single time. It did. Every single time. Wow. And it was so funny to me because I would just be like, okay, download, watch it, go back to the panel. And then I would just have it sitting there waiting to play. And then I would watch it again during DC Fandom, which was, again, a great thing.
You want to know something crazy, Zach? So last year I was at Disney during DC Fandom, and I was in my hotel room. Like,
that's right.
I'm going to try to react to all this stuff. And then the rain was pouring at one point.
Are you going again to Disney?
Came out. I was like,
are you going to Disney again during the same time or no?
No. But like, a week later. So
Okay.
I was like,
Okay.
thank you.
There you go.
Like,
See, no, I can't do the Disney Plus day in November because I'm supposed to be going to California. I'm like, fuck. So I told my girlfriend, I'm like, I told her you're gonna drive. I'm filming my reactions in the car. Like,
listen, I get you. I would be the same way. I've done that before. Listen, we can hustle. This is our job.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Didn't you just post your reaction to Spider-Man No Way Home from Disney itself?
Yeah.
I did. Yeah. I was like, great. Of course I'm at Disney. But then I was like, wait, I'm at Disney.
I'm like sitting there watching your reaction, and I can't imagine doing that. Like, props to you for the confidence, because I'm watching the people in the background of the video, and I'm like, I would have been so awkward.
Oh.
I was like,
man,
who cares?
so I bought a vlogging camera so I can get used to vlogging in public because I have a couple like ideas I'm going to do, and like because like me and my friends do stupid stuff all the time. I'm like, I just need to capture this because like it's not like dumb, but like it's yeah, because we go to the movies every time, and I would just like love to capture their reactions coming out. So but yeah, so this is a great lineup. You know, we're getting a new Batman trailer. It's already been announced. That's when we're getting the next Batman trailer. We're getting behind the scenes on the new Aquaman film, behind the scenes on Shazam 2.
Black Adam as well.
Black Adam, I think we're getting a trailer. I think Black Adam we're actually getting a damn trailer. It's so first look. So
I think we're getting like I think we're getting like a sizzle like we got for the Suicide Squad last year.
Oh, really? Yeah. See, I think we're actually legit getting a teaser like we did for Shazam.
I hope you're right. I hope you're
right.
And
the only reason I'm saying that is because when the first Shazam was at Comic-Con, that was only filming for a couple weeks, and we got full teaser trailer for that, and I was no one thought that was going to happen, and who knows, that the same thing could happen for Aquaman, the Flash, and Shazam, because Shazam's done filming. The Flash is almost done filming.
It could be that they're listing it as like a first look because they don't know if they'll have it done, so they want to make sure. You know what I mean? Like,
good point.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean they can't do like a trailer or anything, because they did it last year with the Batman with only 25% filmed, so we could very well still get like
I mean, you can get a trailer. So I'm excited to see what they bring. I think also the big thing is the Black Canary show movie that was announced. I think that was supposed to be a surprise for this. I think we'll get more details on that. Blue Beetle.
Maybe.
I think we might even get more introductions. We're also probably going to get a Peacemaker trailer.
Yes, I think we're definitely.
They
say trailer or did they say?
I think they said trailer, like teaser trailer, or whatever.
But can I throw something out? I'm going to throw a wild thing out. I think they're going to show the first episode.
You think so?
Of Peacemaker? Wow.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, that would be crazy.
It depends on restrictions. This is the thing. I don't know how they'll restrict the kids not from watching it.
Okay, so it's exclusive look at the upcoming series.
Exclusive look.
Peacemaker. That's what the press release says. So it could
be. Because that's what I'm going off of.
But that's a good point about kids could watch it.
And then a bunch of the shows are showing up too. You know, Legends of Tomorrow, Doom Patrol. But the thing that I'm also excited about is the video game things, because we're getting more Gotham Knights and the Suicide Squad. We have not seen gameplay for, and I have a feeling we're finally going to see gameplay for it. And I'm ready. I'm going to brace everyone here because the controversies are going to come out. It is a live service game. I don't want to hear any shit about it because I'm telling you guys right now, it is a live service game. They've already announced it, and I already know it's going to be the same fucking thing with the Avengers thing when everyone was flipping out about it. Suicide Squad is a live service game. I don't want to see no bullshit screaming out into the air because you didn't know that was going to happen. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. This studio has never messed up. So give me the game. I'm fine with it if you do it right. Just don't tell me that I have to purchase, if I want the Endgame Captain America suit, that I have to spend $30 of real money. No, I'm not doing that. Now, if I want a King Shark outfit, I better be able to unlock it in the damn game. You know, I'm going to want to play King Shark. Yeah, I want to play as the fat ass version of him with just the basketball shorts on.
I thought you said King Shark.
Oh, no.
Shark. That's just a skin for Clayface.
I mean,
yeah. But yeah, no. So
I know what you mean. You want to be able to get it in the game. I get you.
But yeah, I'm excited. So let's just talk about it. Everyone kind of go around. The number one thing they want to see at DC Fandom. I'll let Ren start, and then we'll kind of go like this.
Good. I got a while to think then.
Number one. I mean, between the Batman,
it could be something that's
Black
not announced.
Adam.
It could be something that's not announced.
Okay, I'm going off to something that's not announced because we know we're getting something from the Batman. We know we're getting something from Black Adam. Extremely excited for those two. I want a trailer for the Green Lantern show. Because we've heard 2 casting announcements, and that's it.
But are they
it went
filming?
silent after that. It felt like they were building some sort of momentum. And
it is
going to
be there. It will be there.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're going to mention something.
Yeah.
So I hope they talk a lot more about it, announce more castings. Maybe we get a Simon Baz, a Jessica Cruz for the Green Lantern show, and we get a trailer. I want to see a trailer. I hope, since they're casting so many Green Lanterns, I hope this is like an anthology series that we get to see. So that's my number one. Tessa, over to you.
Oh, jeez. It's so hard because there's so much. You know what I'm going to... Well, all right. This is hard. I'm going to go with something completely... You guys are probably going to think this is crazy because you know how I feel about this character. I think I'm most excited for, because I hope it hypes me up, stuff from Aquaman. In the last Kingdom, because I don't like Aquaman and I don't like Namor, and it's a thing I have, I know, and I know, and everyone hates me for it. I got like so much hate.
You know what? I'm still
channel.
not sold on Namor. Like if Namor ever comes in the MCU, I'm still
I feel like Kevin will be able to do it well. So
I do too. That's what I'm saying.
Mm.
Believe in Kevin Feige. I still want to shirt that says I believe in Kevin.
I know.
Feige.
I think they should make those. But I'm most excited for that because I'm hoping it hypes me up, and I'm hoping they're bringing Aquaman in a good direction. But I'm still mad that what's her name wasn't fired, and I will never say her name. But I still think it's stupid that she's still in that movie and whatever. But I guess I say Aquaman because I want to like Aquaman. I do. I like Jason Momoa, so hopefully.
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
But really,
like
I'm
Jason
excited for
Momoa?
everything.
Yeah.
That's true.
All right, Patrick. What about you?
The thing is, I'm so excited for everything really from DC Fandom this year.
I know, I am too. So you have to pick one. I had to pick one.
I know, that's the
one
hard part.
Or you can make a guess. You can make a guess and be like, I hope this happens. And it could be, I don't know, a Bubble Boy showing up.
Clayface is actually in the Batman. I'm kidding. But I think out of all the things I'm most excited for or more intrigued about, I think it would be The Flash, because I love Andy Muschietti as a director. I have a lot of faith in him because of the It movies. I love Mama. And, I love everything going on with this film from what I've seen. Michael Keaton back as Batman and everything. And forgive me for not remembering the actress's name, but I think she's such a good pick for she's such a good pick for Supergirl. Like, I can't wait to see what they do with that, and I'm very interested to see, like, at least a first, like, even if it's just a 30-second teaser trailer, I want to see what they have for The Flash at DC Fandom.
They gotta sell me. They still gotta sell me. For me, my most, I'm gonna throw everything. Obviously, the Batman would be. I want to see what the next trailer looks like, but I want to see Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate. Show me the first look.
Ooh, yes.
That's what I want to see. That's my favorite. That's the one reason. I know it's Black Adam. I know that stuff. I am more excited to see Dr. Fate in that film than anything else. I could care. Honestly, right now, they got to still sell me on that movie. I love Dwayne, but I do not believe... Like, I just feel like I'm just going to watch Dwayne Johnson in the Black Adam suit still. And I want to. I don't want to see that. So.
Lies, heresy. I'm
okay with that.
My man. All right, Zach, what's your verdict for the lineup announcement for DC Fandom?
I'm knighting it, man. Last year's event was great. I think they know they're going to follow it up greatness. And I'm still waiting. I'm like, Marvel, just do one, too. Disney
honestly, Plus Day is coming, my friend.
Disney Plus Day is going to be.
I get
They're
it, but
splitting it up. They're splitting this
I just wish Marvel would have their own thing.
Just Marvel,
Dude, that would break the internet if they did one. Like, DC doesn't...
They don't need to, though. Marvel doesn't need to do it.
They
also
drop a trailer and it trends
before it's even announced.
For 2 weeks. That's my thing. Marvel drops a trailer and it trends for 2 weeks. DC drops a trailer, it's like a week, maybe.
Maybe. It's like
24 hours. 48 hours.
Unless you're the Batman. Everyone still shares that damn trailer everywhere.
Yeah.
So.
Patrick, what about you? What's your verdict for the lineup?
I'm knighting it. I love everything that DC has provided us in like the last 2 years or so. And like, I'm very interested to see like what they have to bring to the table next. Like, I'm excited to really see everything. As I said, I'm nighting it because I just, am excited to wake up at 3:00 in the bloody morning to just sit there and watch all the stuff and just watch all these trailers, all their announcements for like even the Green Lantern show, as you said, Ren. Like I'm just fucking hyped. So yeah.
And while Patrick will be waking up at 3 a.m., I will be staying up until 3 a.m. That's how far apart we are from one another. Tessa, what's your verdict on the lineup?
Oh, I'm definitely nighting it. I'm really excited for everything. I love that they're like, oh, we're going to make it one day in like 4 hours. They're saying it's, I imagine it'll go a little longer than 4 hours, but I like how they're like, okay, last year was like crazy. I don't know why we tried to do 2 days of randomness. Like we're going to do one. And I like that we know the time. Like exactly, pretty much. I like that I know, okay, because for me, it's like 1 p.m., which isn't horrible. So like I'll get up and work out and do stuff, whatever, sit down, get ready. The only thing is I'm like really, and I know this is stupid. It's like first world problems, but I'm like nervous. I'm like, what am I going to do when something's like exporting and I'm trying to record the next one and then make a thumbnail for this one? Like I'm stressed out already about how ridiculous that like 4 hours is going to be. And I'm like, I hope they give like a solid 20 minutes before or like in between each trailer so that I have time to collect myself. That's what I'm stressed about. But I'm just excited because, and then I'm also stressed because YouTube only tells people about your first 3 videos in a day. So the last ones people will be like, did you put this up? Like last time I had people like, you never reacted to the Batman. I was like, I did. It just was like number 4 or 5 for the day. Go look, it's there. So.
Algorithm, YouTube algorithm.
I know.
It sucks.
Alrighty. It sucks. It's a whole thing. Garbage. We could do an entire show just on the algorithm of YouTube. All right. Before we move on to our third topic, because it is a not very exciting topic, we had a donation from Daniel Skinner. Thank you so much, Daniel, for contributing and donating to the show and supporting the show. Opinions on the 1984 adaptation of Dune from David Lynch. I watched it for the first time last November and rewatched it yesterday night. It was okay. Has anyone here seen this adaptation of Dune? Because I haven't, and I am staying away from it. All right, let's start with Patrick. Raise your hand first. Go ahead, Patrick. Tell us your thoughts on the David Lynch Dune.
Fun fact, I only watched it because they referenced it in an episode of Big Bang Theory where they ended up taking weed brownies from some supposed school teachers when they were looking up at the stars one episode, and they referenced the show. In all honesty, I just see it as like 80s movie cheese. It's not good, but it is a ton of fun if you just want to sit back with your friends and have a good time. Sir Patrick's, it's been years since I watched it. Sir Patrick Stewart was in it, right?
He's at least he's one of the adaptations for sure. Because there's this one, there's the mini-series, and I'm not quite sure which one he's on. Because I remember the mini-series stars James McAvoy as Paul Atreides.
Yeah, no, like the fondest thing I have about it is Sir Patrick Stewart. I couldn't remember if that was like the show or whatever it was, or if it was the movie. But honestly, fun 80s cheese to just sit down with your friends and everything. It's not by any means an awful movie, but it's not a great one either. It's just fun. That's all I have to say.
Tessa, what about you? What are your thoughts?
So I watched it because we knew we were getting the trailer for Dune. They'd like announced when it was going to be. So I was like, all right, I'll watch this movie. And I watched it like, I think the day before the trailer came out. And I mean, it's not something you have to watch. I don't think like It was all right. It's weird at parts. It's definitely cheesy. There's moments where I was like, what am I watching? Like, what is happening right now? But I like that I have a little, like enough about the story to kind of get it. But I do feel like so many people are saying, I definitely think this new one's going to be better. But it feels very much like, I'm like, it's the exact same story. Like they're not changing it that much. Because so many people were like, oh, the adaptation of the book. It's not a great adaptation of the books, which I haven't read, so I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't either.
But this, what we've seen from the trailers feels very similar to the movie that we already got. So I'm like, maybe there's other stuff that of course it's trailers, so they're not going to show you everything. So I'm curious to see what the main differences are. But I mean, it definitely looks infinitely better with just visually. That's all you need to say. But it's weird. It's okay. I mean, it's not. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. But if you feel like watching it, sure, go ahead. It's kind of how I feel about it. It's there. It's not horrible. It's not great. Meh.
All right, so we have an unanimous consensus. I apologize, Daniel. I have never seen it. I've been purposefully staying away from the book, from the graphic novel, from this movie, from the miniseries, because I want to go into Dune as blind as possible, even though I did see the 2 trailers, and I am absolutely in love. But thank you so much once again for supporting the channel and for your great question. All right, let's go into our third topic, which is a very sad topic, because Top Gun 2 has been delayed to the summer of 2022, and Mission Impossible 7 has also been delayed to November. So Top Gun took Mission Impossible 7's place next year, and then Mission Impossible jumped back a little bit too. Now, definitely the one that hurts the most is Top Gun 2, because we're getting back into the momentum. Big movies are getting released. We got Black Widow, we got Fast 9, we got now Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, and then this week we're building to that momentum of Top Gun, which I just saw the trailer for again like a few weeks ago or last week, something like that. We're getting Eternals, we're getting Spider-Man, we're getting No Time to Die finally, and then this one just had to move, unfortunately, and I'm very sad because I was extremely excited for this film. I even posted about it on Twitter that for the 3rd year in a row, I'm going to have this movie in my top 10 most anticipated movies of the year. That and Mission Impossible 7. So this one really gutted me. It really struck me bad news. But hey, if they're going to make their money back, if it's going to be that good of a movie, it only builds the anticipation more, I think. It's going to get tricky to now market this film again when they pump out the marketing campaign once more, because there are just so many trailers at this point for this film. Nevertheless, it really hurts because I am so excited for both these movies, but especially Top Gun Maverick, which I was going to watch with my dad when I went back home for the holidays this year, because he showed me the original Top Gun. Now I have to wait a little bit more. Tessa, what are your thoughts? How disappointed are you that Top Gun Maverick and Mission Impossible 7 got delayed once more?
I mean, I feel like I'm used to things getting delayed at this point, that I'm like so desensitized to it that I'm like, oh, okay, they pushed something again. You know, I mean, I've been trying to not get my hopes up for any movie to actually come out when it's supposed to come out, because I feel like you never know, especially with this Delta variant now going through. I mean, it's killing me. Like, I'm getting annoyed at people here where I am, and I'm like, could you just get vaccinated so that we can maybe watch a movie? Like, it's killing me. I'm bummed, of course, like really was looking forward to Top Gun. Again, my dad showed me that too, so I have that connection with him as well, Ren, and it's just, you know, it is what it is at this point. I'm just so desensitized to it, and I mean, I'm still gonna go see it in theaters when it comes out. If it comes out, knock on wood, I know it will, but it's just, I'm so desensitized to it now that it's just like, okay, they moved something else.
You become kind of numb to these delays because we should have seen it coming. Yeah, for sure. I completely understand that. Zach, welcome back. How sad are you about Top Gun and Mission Impossible moving?
Fine. I mean, I'm really excited about these movies, but here's the thing. I'm just like, they're just gonna come out when they come out. You know what I mean? Like, and Top Gun moving to Memorial Day weekend, that's a little bit better. You know, like, to be honest, I'm more sad.
So that's Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, I'm more sad about Mission Impossible. And they even moved Jackass. I don't know if you guys mentioned that. Yeah, Paramount moved completely out.
January, February.
So
February.
February, but
4th.
You know,
I believe.
It's just, it's a weird thing. I'm gonna say this right now. Them moving it though, I still don't even see the world being that back to normal by then. I mean, these movies aren't good. Here's the thing, and I've said it. The only movie that has the chance of making $1 billion this year is Spider-Man if it comes out. And that's if theaters still stay where they're at, and that around the world, because you know a big thing is China hasn't released Black Widow, Jungle Cruise, like they haven't had any of those movies. That's a big box office right there. That's the only reason Fast 9, I think, is the highest grossing film this year, is because they had China's box office. So for me, it's just, I think the movie sphere has completely changed now and forever, sadly. And I think a lot of these movies, like Top Gun's gonna do good in theaters because it has that nostalgia. New people are gonna go see it, and like my grandpa who does not go to the movies at all, but literally before we got him Netflix, he would watch the original Top Gun every single week, on VHS.
Wow.
Still.
Yes.
And then my mom bought him a Roku, and he goes, "What is this thing? How do I use it?" And she
does it have Top Gun?
Dude, she was on Skype with him for 2 hours to getting it set up. Getting that all work, and he goes, "I have internet," and my mom's like, "Oh my god, how do you think we're on Skype?" So, this is like the conversations they have. But so I'm excited to see both of these. I'm in the thing where it's good that they moved for the most part because October, November, and December are completely stacked. And I do think Top Gun has now a little bit more room to breathe, where like November was the Eternals, then the week after that's Ghostbusters, and the week after that's Top Gun, and then I'm pretty sure there's something after that. And Encanto's somewhere mixed along in there. I can't remember when that comes out. So that's a big month already. And I think I'm sure Paramount was like, we're going to get 1 week of good box office, and that's it. So let's push it back. Let's let it breathe. Let the Eternals, Ghostbusters, and that's good for Ghostbusters too, because now Ghostbusters moved back a week. Gives the Eternals 2 weeks,
Ghostbusters
2 weeks, then the Eternal, and then
Encanto is the 24th of November. So
okay.
I just looked it up.
So there's a lot of good things I think about it moving. It sucks, but I'm gonna say I think Shang-Chi's gonna overperform this week, and I think a lot of movies are gonna stay. I think the box office hasn't come out for yesterday, but from what I was reading, it's rumored that it's almost 40 million. Which, if that's true.
We know by now. We know by now it's going to break at some point during the show, and you're going to say breaking news.
Oh yeah.
It happens every Saturday.
That's the
around the 1 hour mark. So.
That's the only breaking news that happens since we moved the show to Saturday. But yeah,
Patrick,
I'm actually weirdly going to night this, just so you know. Like,
okay,
I know everyone's a little probably more sad about it, and I am too. Like, I just want to see Top Gun at this point. Like, I know someone that saw a test screening of it and flipped out about it, so like, I'm excited about it. I guess there's some Miles Tellers in it too, but I don't know if that's true or not because he tweeted out. But did you guys see his tweet this morning?
No.
What did
he
tweet?
No. He tweeted out.
I didn't even know he had a Twitter.
I don't care about.
He never tweets, and he tweeted out, "I'm still on set. I don't know what you guys are talking about."
Well, of course he said that probably because he doesn't want to seem like he's an asshole, but he's an asshole. So. I saw someone tweet. It's always what they say. It's always the people you expect, and I was like, yeah.
It's always the ones you most expect. I saw that too. All right, Patrick, what about you? Are you disappointed? Are you okay with Top Gun and Mission Impossible 7 getting delayed?
For Top Gun, I can't say I'm disappointed for myself because I have no nostalgia with Top Gun. I haven't seen it. I'm waiting until Top Gun Maverick comes out for me to watch it. So I have like that back-to-back experience, like my first time watching right before I see Maverick for the first time. So that's what I'm doing. I never grew up watching it. My dad never showed it to me because he just basically grabbed his bags and bailed. But I'm more disappointed like Zach for Mission Impossible because I've been seeing like the behind the scenes stunt shoots and everything. The train one I saw the other day, I flipped out. I was at a friend of mine's house. I was looking after my goddaughter and I have her in my arm and I see that and I almost fucking dropped her. I was like jumping with excitement.
Get out!
I was just like, what the fuck am I watching? And Mission Impossible I think hurts a little bit more. But at the moment, I'm honestly desensitized to the whole thing because, with delays, Australia, because of the whole New South Wales lockdown, we've literally had everything pushed back to November, December. We no longer have Venom in October. We no longer have James Bond in October. We no longer have Dune in October. We're waiting till fucking December. Eternals no longer has a scheduled release date. So,
oh my god,
Resident Evil, which from those set photos the other day, I was actually starting to get excited for, especially with what I saw with Lisa Trevor as a fan of those games. Now that's back until like mid-December now, so I'm honestly just whatever, man. I just whatever. I just don't care anymore.
You clearly have your you clearly have your plate full of movies to worry about that they got delayed besides Top Gun and Mission Impossible.
Malignant's now delayed until the end of October, last week, and I'm just wow, okay, thanks Warner Bros. I hate you. I'm just gonna use a VPN and watch it on my mate's HBO Max account. I don't care.
And let me tell you, Warner Brothers doesn't care either about that movie.
Yeah,
I know they don't.
They don't.
There.
All right, so it's just a sad topic. Tessa, what's your verdict? Zack knighted it, which I was surprised by. What about you?
I mean, I guess he does make some really good points, and I think it's smarter for them and for the movies. So I guess I'll knight it in that it is a smarter move for them to push it to those, to give it time to breathe, because there is a lot that they're catching up on that's coming out, and it would just get too muddled in with all of it. And I get why. And again, also, I'm kind of like whatever at this point about everything.
Yeah. Patrick, what about you?
I'm like Tessa and Zach. I think it's actually very good for box office numbers, and I think it spaces things out a little bit more. And as Tessa said, I'm just like, whatever at this point. I'm used to it. I just don't care anymore. So I'm going to knight it because I think it's a good business strategy, especially with box office and numbers coming through. So I'm going to knight it for that, thing. But everything else, I'm just like, whatever, man. I'm just done at this point. I'm done.
I'm so desensitized to like the delays now that when I read them, like, I'm sad, but
you're like, okay.
No.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, though. If the Batman gets pushed back one more damn time,
I know.
I will crawl up into my damn
Stop
bed.
This. Don't even put it out there. Don't even speak. Don't put it out there.
Don't put it into the world, Zach.
Just think,
we would not manifest.
We would have seen it 3 months ago.
Now, if it happens, I'm blaming you.
I think
Doctor Strange and Batman in March. I'm a March baby. I want those movies in March.
I'm March baby too.
The best month. All right,
December,
I'm going to be selfish.
April.
I'm going to be super selfish on my verdict. I'm going to throw this in the dungeon. Yes, you guys are absolutely 100% factually right. This is very good for box office, but I want these movies now. I'm tired of waiting, especially for Mission Impossible. Though that one just affects me a little bit less because it was already scheduled for next year, so it just moved a couple of months to open up for.
We haven't seen a trailer.
Gun.
I think it's when I see a trailer and something gets delayed. That's when I get a little annoyed.
Yes,
like
exactly.
Honestly, I'm gonna be honest. Sony's dumb for moving Venom. They should have waited until to see
that
how
was stupid. I don't know why they're putting it the same weekend as Halloween. Like, what are they thinking?
Dumbest decision.
Halloween is going to destroy it. Halloween is going to.
It was in a good spot where it could breathe a little.
I argue Venom will still beat Halloween that week, but it'll be very close. It'll be very close. It'll be very, very close.
I think, like you, Venom beats Halloween, but I think Halloween has more legs on the long run.
Oh, 100%. They're dumb.
Yeah. Because all the people are going to go, the fans are going to go see it right away.
Also,
but it's stupid.
Exactly.
If anyone spoils Halloween Kills while I have to wait an extra 3 weeks to see that movie, I am going to be pissed off.
I mean,
I'll be sure to email you a breakdown of the entire movie. No,
Tessa, I had to wait forever for this movie.
Yeah, I know.
Had it spoiled for me. I'm not getting Halloween Kills spoiled for me either. I had the entire fucking finger trap spoiled for me for this gem. I'm not letting Halloween Kills get spoiled.
Okay,
Halloween is my favorite horror film. I'm not letting this.
Before we move on to our next topic, Zach wasn't here, and Daniel Skinner was kind enough to give another donation to know your thoughts, Mr. Pope, on the 1984 adaptation of Dune, if you've seen it.
Daniel, I hate to disappoint you. I've never seen the film. I was going to watch it before the new adaptation, but I was talking to the rep, and I'm assuming he's seen Dune, to be honest, at this point. But he told me do not watch the adaptation. He said watch it after, and then you can compare it.
Okay.
He goes, because I've already read the book. I read the graphic novel for Dune. I don't want to see anything else on it. I want my first interpretation live action to be this, because it's Denis Villeneuve, and then I will go back to the 1984 version. That's just how it is.
All right.
But thank you for the super chat.
Yes.
I'm trying to get. We want to get Ren more Power Rangers.
Yes, we do.
We want to get him
already.
I want Ren to wear a toga cosplay one day.
Himiko Toga. I'll wear her cosplay. You won't see anything from here down, but I'll wear it. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
All right.
Toga.
Okay, so because we're at the 50-minute mark and Tessa is on a tight schedule, I want to make sure I have her for the main topic. So we're going to move the main topic to our penultimate topic. So we're going to talk about Shang-Chi right now. Mm-hmm. The figure is up. The Funko Pop is here, right here. You can see it. So if you have not seen Shang-Chi yet, just mute the show right now. I'll take it out when we're done with the spoilers. So if you have not seen Shang-Chi, 3, 2, 1. Oh my god, we need to talk about that post-credit scene because I still don't know what it means, and I'm not comfortable with not understanding what these things mean in Marvel movies.
Major research yesterday on this.
Major research. Okay, so
major end credit.
We've all seen. I've seen it 2 times. Tessa, you've seen it 2 times.
2 times, yep.
2 times. Zach, you've seen it 2 times. Patrick, just a 1.
1.
Just a 1. Okay, that's fine. Okay. So. At first, I didn't know. Like, when I saw Shang-Chi for the first time, I was like, holy crap, this means so much, and I don't know what exactly. Number one thing I gotta point out, holy crap, Bruce is back in normal form. This gives me hope of seeing Monster Hulk one day. Give us Maestro as a big villain in one of the phases. That's all I want, as a big fan of the Hulk in the comics. Fanboy part out of the way, I think this sets up Secret Invasion. I don't know how. I can't explain how it connects, but I think it's the most logical conclusion I can take out of it because they never explain what the 10 rings are in the movie. Mm-hmm. In the comics, they're an alien artifact, and I think they could be signaling out to their owner or whatever. And the rings clearly aren't human rings, but that's a whole nother topic that I'm actually going to do. I think I'm going to do a video about. So. Those are my quick thoughts before I hear what I expect to be much better theories from you guys. Tessa, give us your thoughts on that amazing post-credit scene.
I don't know. What I wanted is, I know it's not true, but
did you scream when Brie Larson came up? Did you scream?
Oh yeah, and my girls did. We were all like,
everyone screamed in my theater.
And then in the public screening too, and everyone. Yeah. Press screening was a little quieter because you know how press screenings can be, but. Booed? That's awful. People are horrible. Yeah, no, my girls were so excited. Lori was like, Captain Marvel! And started clapping, and she loves
And it's funny.
So
if you
back with the long hair.
If you read the...
So that's why I was like, what I want to be, and Red knows this, I don't think it is, but I really wanted this to be like another timeline after like Loki opened up stuff, and I'm like, oh, she's got long hair. Oh, Bruce never became Smart Hulk because... It could be. We didn't even talk about Doctor Strange. He's not even like there. Yeah, but I know it's not going to be. But that's what I want.
Can I say something though? Because they actually talk about this was late in production when they created this end credit scene. Destin got interviewed about it, and he talked about how they had a bunch of deleted scenes of the origins of the rings, but they decided to get rid of it and leave it up to mysteriousness for future films.
Yeah.
And he said that he wanted to create a really unique end credit scene, and late into production, he did it. And obviously he's worked with Brie Larson before, so he called her up, said, hey, I would love to get you. So I actually think she's still going to have the short hair. Just deep down, I still think she's going to have the short hair for the Marvels. I think we'll see when set photos and, you know, the obvious things of seeing her fly around in the world when they have her strapped up, just like we saw with Sasha Kaye. Hulk is a different question, though.
Yeah.
And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second, about my theory on that, because I do think he's back to normal and can kind of just switch back and forth, which
I think so too. I know.
And I'll say why.
I think it's because of She-Hulk.
That too. But if you notice, there's something on his arm that has green.
His arm is still hurt from Endgame. That's what I thought. Because they never say when. Yeah, because they never say when Shang-Chi is taking place.
His right arm has this metal thing on it that has this green thing going through it. And it's constantly going. So the second time I watched it, I looked, because I was wondering what that was, and you just see this green goop just going. So I don't know if that's like blood. I don't know if that's just something. I don't know if that has nothing to do with it at all. And
it's just draining him of the gamma ray. It's a fancy way to
draining him of the gamma ray.
It has to be that for sure. But I just didn't notice it, so that's a good thing you called on. Zach.
I didn't notice that.
Patrick.
I think it's leading in the multiverse of madness. I actually had the same thought as Tessa, that this is actually Shang-Chi in a multiverse, because just think about it. Where is Abomination meant to be? And he shows up in this movie fighting Wong. I think that this is an alternate universe where the stuff with Thanos and the Infinity Stones and the snap still happened, but Wong has come through because now the multiverse happens. I actually think that Shang-Chi takes place after No Way Home, where the multiverse opens up, and then it leads into, Multiverse of Madness, because we've obviously got Scarlet Witch. I think this is going to give us the avenues with Wong, as well as, Doctor Strange. Wong with, like, Abomination, it seems like he's sort of training him. Yeah. Gives some avenues not only just for She-Hulk, but also could Abomination have a more prominent role when it comes to taking down the big evil? Or if yet, he might be the big evil of Multiverse of Madness. We don't know that yet. But also, I think Shang-Chi might come through the multiverse as a prime role in Multiverse of Madness, and that might be a very reason as to why we haven't seen much on the film yet, because they're trying to keep all this shit secret until Shang-Chi comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I kind of, see, this is what I want so bad.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's wrong, but I want it so badly.
So I think this whole film takes place a couple months after Endgame. It seems like it. Did they say if they were blipped or not? That was the one thing I was trying to...
No, they never mentioned anything.
Never mentioned it.
So I totally, that's what I thought. Second watch, my husband immediately points this stuff out because, of course, he's so smart at everything.
It's their agents.
They talk about... Well, so when they're having dinner the first time, they say, the one friend says, we live in a world where half the population can just disappear. That's what she said. Then as he's walking into his apartment, there's a big sign that says, like, we're here too. You're not the only one who lost people and blah, 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 like those support group things. Yeah. So I don't know if we know who got, but like, it's definitely half the population.
So can I be honest? I don't think he was blipped. I don't think him and Katie were blipped.
No.
Because of their age.
Yeah, I know.
Because he's wearing a shirt that says class of 2017. So that means he graduated in 2017. And he's of the legal drinking age because they're clearly drinking. Both of them are. So that's the only reason I think if they were blipped, they wouldn't be able to drink.
Yeah, there's
just
no
because
way
that is 5 years. That's 5 years. Now, that's not saying that his father didn't blip. His father could have blipped, but then I also don't think he did because his organization would have fallen again.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wouldn't have been. They wouldn't have all been there.
So I don't think any of these characters blipped. That's the thing I'm interested to see in the future is who got blipped, who didn't get blipped. The characters that we're meeting now. So that was my one question I wanted to ask all of you guys. So now let's get to the end credit scene. So I did major research on this damn thing with the rings and the origins of them. So there's two different origins depending on what comic you read, from what I'm understanding. The main typical origin of it is that those rings belong to Fin Fang Foom.
Yep.
There is a comic iteration of Fin Fang Foom because he's an alien species that looks like a dragon, which is freaking awesome. And in the comics, those rings power their cities. Like those rings are just normal, like, generators for them. Like, they have thousands of them. So, from what I understand is, and I'm going from this, I think they're calling it to Fin Fang Foom. And I think Fin Fang Foom. Now, is Fin Fang Foom a villain, a hero? Because that was like some comics I was looking at.
Gray area people.
Yeah, like he was a kind of a villain, but then like I see him teaming up with Black Panther in some of the comics I was looking at yesterday. So I was like,
in the comics he teams up with Mandarin a lot, but also if he wants, he'll start destroying a city because he doesn't care.
And then if he wants, he'll team up with the heroes too, right? Okay.
Yes.
So
exactly.
Yeah. He's very like
his own. I think he's gonna team up with Kang. I think him and Kang. I think they're going to change a little bit of stuff. But here's my other thing: if it's not
rings,
I think those rings have to deal with the Celestials, and I think that is the other origin they might go.
And then it ties into Eternals.
Yep, that's the thing because Wenwu has been alive for an eternal amount of years, and the big thing they changed with the rings is that the rings give you eternal life. from what I was reading in the comics, they just give you different powers like fire, ice, stuff like that. Where
in the comics they're too OP. They give you mind control, super strength.
But they in here they don't give you internal life in the comics. So that's where I was like, okay, so we're changing that. So that's a big thing right there that you're already changing, that they give you eternal life. So I'm really interested to see if this does actually end up tying in. Wouldn't it be awesome to see Tony Leung show up in the Eternals? Just like for a just for like a little thing.
100%.
Like, God, he's so great. But
it'd be awesome to see him show up in anything.
That's true.
Oh yeah, he's fantastic. He's fantastic. He's amazing. So that's what I'm predicting, that it's Fin Fang Foom. I think they just didn't want to give it a half-assed origin story of these talking dragons from space.
You can't shove that in a post-credit scene or in this movie. It would take away from the whole thing.
Especially if you have Wong giving, okay, we know where this is from. Or like even Brie Larson, like say she was like, oh, there's an alien species that has it would have felt like too much exposition, where like the film did have a lot of exposition already. And you're asking the audience to accept a lot already of what was the place they went to? Ta Lo. So like you're already asking them to experience this Jurassic Park like adventure going through with the Jeep and everything. You cannot tell me otherwise.
Pokemon region. It's a Pokemon region.
Pretty much.
Those are clearly Pokemon, and they're awesome. Yeah, I'm not saying that.
And Morris has no face, and it's the cutest thing still.
I want one of those big lion things. Chicken pig. Chicken pig.
So they had giant versions at Target of those guys, like lifelike, and I went the day after, gone. All of them gone. They had so many of them the day before. I'm like, I just want.
My daughter wants one so bad.
So, but yeah, so I mean, I love this film. I think we all did, but I think this is just, it's Fin Fang Foom.
I think it's either that or it's some tie to the Eternals.
Exactly. I don't know what else you would do.
I went to see it. I didn't go with a friend, but I met a friend there, and he loved Shang-Chi. He says it's his favorite of the year and his favorite MCU movie, which I think it's awesome. And we were talking about that post-credit scene, and he's like, it could be Eternals, because that could be related to Celestials,
and maybe that's why they moved the Eternals after. Yeah, again, they moved all the lineups, and if it's true that the end credit scene was made in the last bit of production, they might have done that. Yeah.
That's also something that I'm very curious about, because I don't remember what the original placement of Shang-Chi was.
It was Black Widow, Eternals. And then afterwards, it was Doctor Strange, right?
Then Shang-Chi. And then it was, which is why I was like, it could be multiverse. That's why I just want it so bad.
Wasn't Thor Love and Thunder even in there earlier than
Thor Love and Thunder was after Spider-Man. I think it was after Spider-Man. Okay.
I thought it was right before Spider-Man, but that's my bad.
Yeah, because Thor Love and Thunder was at the very end, I remember. I remember that was like the last thing they announced at Comic-Con when I was there. So, and everyone flipped out, because even though it was already announced, everyone flipped out when Natalie Portman walked out, which I thought it was freaking cool. I deleted the photo on my phone currently right now. I have it on my laptop, but of her holding the Mjolnir, I was like, why did it?
Nice.
I saw one of David Harbour screaming, "I'm better than Captain America." It's still my favorite photo I have. So.
All right. Yeah. So. Anyone has any other thoughts on this? Any more theories you want to throw out there?
Who knows? I'm just
excited. It's Fin Fang Foom or the Eternals. I think
it's gotta be.
Or both.
Yeah.
Or both. What if Fin Fang Foom? That's my one thing, as I'm still waiting to see.
They could make him a Celestial.
Because that's my one thing. I want to know how the Eternals is going to tie in. And I only say that because Chloe Zhao pitched that to them. They didn't have any. They weren't going to do the Eternals yet. So now it's, for me, it's like, did this change their plan? Did they move? I know Kevin plans all this stuff. So like, because trust me, I already want to see Icarus fucking teaming up with like Falcon or Captain America and Doctor Strange. I mean, I just want to see if I told my girlfriend last night, if Warner Brothers don't want to give me a Superman movie with Henry Cavill, fine, I'll watch the Eternals.
That's what we were saying last night. That was the first time my husband had seen the trailer. He doesn't watch trailers, so he saw the Eternals trailer, and he was like, "Oh, he's like Superman." I was like, "Yes, he's like Superman."
Exactly.
Basically,
he literally took inspiration from Zack Snyder's Superman. So.
All right, let me move this out of the way.
Oh, you know what? Wait, real quick. I got a question. Because of the second post-credit scene.
Mm.
So,
oh yeah.
So
I was confused.
This
as hell.
So she's just clearly taking over. My husband's like very convinced that she's setting up to be the dark Shang-Chi because everyone has a dark version now. I don't know if that's true, but do you think those are widows or not? Because I keep hearing people say they're the widows, and I'm like, and then someone said there are at least 2 actresses that are the same.
So that's what I was going to tell you. In that fighting thing she has, there are widows there. There are 2 widows fighting.
Right.
Okay.
Yes. Shout out to 3C.
So are they all widows?
He caught that. 3C Films caught the widow.
Yeah.
She's fighting the extremist. The extremist in there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the person fighting the extremist is the widow.
What's the and then I was like, are they just like characters they used again? Like it's just the same actress like, to use?
I mean, the guy on the bus is from Spider-Man: Homecoming. Did he come from New York to San Francisco? I mean,
maybe. I mean, but it's just I know who knows. But anyway, I was just curious, you guys' thoughts on that.
I hope she's not evil because I really like her and I don't think she needs to be. And I feel like her relationship with Shang-Chi was really much fixed. And I don't even think she wants the rings. Like I saw one theory that someone was like, oh, well, maybe she's mad that she didn't get the rings. I think they would have made that honestly very noticeable if she was pissed about the rings.
Yeah.
Her and her brother left in a good place.
Because even that final scene when we have the zoom out shot, she's having men and women training together. I think that's the whole progression of her character. Make a better version of her dad's organization.
Of the 10 rings, And I think for me, I think she'll kind of be in the middle. That ain't
right.
You know where we could see her again? I could see us seeing her in Moon Knight. If Moon Knight ends up being tangled with the 10 rings. Because they're filming outside of the country. So that's
right now, I don't see it. Right now, I don't see it, but I could change my mind. Alrighty, let me check this out. Spoilers are done. You are safe to bring up the sound back up again to unmute. We got it all out of our system, and we're still not sure about what we saw. So let's just say that.
Well, I'll just say this to Zach and Ren. After seeing Shang-Chi, I have hope.
Oh, your comment. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't like either of the Eternals trailers. I think it looks boring as batshit. But after seeing Shang-Chi,
I'm not in charge. Get him out of it. I don't want to talk to him.
After seeing Shang-Chi, I'm actually excited. I'm actually excited now.
Get him out. Get him out. Get him out.
I'm sorry.
No. He's actually excited, Zach. We have to let him stay here.
We have to let him stay now. And I actually am sort of excited for No Way Home now. Sort of excited. Because I didn't care until I
messaged you and told you didn't have to dress up in a maid's outfit now? Or a Thanos outfit?
No. If Eternals is bad, I will still wear that. Alright? I will still... I keep to my
I told you didn't have to. So, Tessa, just for context, he told me that Toby and Andrew weren't going to show up, and I told him, I was like, Patrick, they're going to show up. Don't make me a bet that I already know. And he made me a bet. So I messaged him after the trailer. I was like, you don't have to do that. Just don't do that. And from what the reports are reading right now, and I really hope Sony decides not to do this, is they're going to put them in the next trailer.
Yeah,
and I really hope it's not true. Like, I really hope they don't do it.
You want to wait till the
and because even if I don't watch that trailer, it doesn't matter. It's gonna be everywhere.
I'm sure they're gonna. If they do, it's gonna be like a half a second at the end of the trailer.
That's exactly.
I don't think it's gonna be like their main part of it.
I think it would be cool if we just saw them swinging, even if they did just a fake out scene of them swinging. Mm-hmm. That's fine with me. I don't want to see anything from the film. You did the Iron Man and Spider-Man money shot in Homecoming. Do the same thing here. I don't want to see that stuff because I understand why they'll do it though. They put that in the trailer because people are stupid. We know people are dumb when it comes to marketing. Yes. My cousin was like, "So does this mean Toby and Andrew's back?" I'm like, "What do you think, man?"
I know.
Really think about this, like
it would be very weird if they weren't and like their villains show up, but like they're not there.
Exactly. So that's why I'm like, think about this. He goes, so they are in it. I'm like, well, I'm not going to tell you yes or no, but like, yes, they're in it. So like, let's just see the movie. So I mean, when the movie happens, I think it's just they have to spell it out for people. They're in it. Come see the movie December 17th. make this the first $1 billion film since the pandemic.
Well, I mean, since we talked about it last week as well. Supposedly, the 6th villain that's meant to be in it for the Sinister Six or whatever it is meant to be Rhino. So it's just like, of course they're in it because we've got Doc Ock, we've got Green Goblin, now we've got Electro, and we've apparently got Rhino. We've got to have Andrew and Toby in there now. There's no doubt in my fucking mind they're in it. So that part, Zach,
at this point, doesn't even make sense story-wise for them not to be there.
It would just be weird. Right. Yeah, it would.
Unless they didn't get them. I mean, that's the thing. But the only outlet that
they're not going to be like anything. No.
Yeah, and that's my thing. A lot of people were like, "Well, why didn't the bigger people run with it?" Because if they did, Marvel would never invite them to anything again. That's just the truth. So.
Or they would still.
All right, I gotta get going though, guys.
No problem.
Oh. All right.
No problem, Tessa.
Let us know where we can find you, Tessa.
Oh yeah. So you can find me everywhere at Mama's Geeky. It's right there. mamasgeeky.com. And I do all
all of Tessa's links are in the description.
Reviews, all that stuff. Thank you guys for having me. This was so fun.
Thank you.
And nice to meet you, Patrick, like face to face.
Nice to finally meet face to face. We've chatted but haven't officially talked.
Right. Thanks, guys.
See you, Tessa.
Bye, Tessa. Have a wonderful weekend.
Yes, you guys too.
All right. Before we move on to our live questions,
look like Mickey Mouse.
Before we move on to our live questions, we do have a sponsor for this video. I know, it's shocking. We're being sponsored by the Munchkin Boutique. You might have seen me doing a little bit of modeling this week. The store launches at midnight.
Dude, I got so horny from these.
Okay. The shop launches in 17 hours and 45 minutes at midnight VST. You have some really cool merch. If you're a filmmaker, if you want to be a filmmaker, you have for actors, for cinematographers, directors.
Worldwide shipping?
You have this really cool, allow me to just take over the screen. You have this really cool screenwriter t-shirt for you guys. You have this stuff in jumpers. You have this in t-shirts. You can have mugs. You can have anything you want. Lots of really cool merch that you can take a look over here. I would put this on a solo layout, but I can't for some reason. But yeah, it's really cool. And if you use the code RenGeekness, you will have a 10% discount. So yes, do use the code RenGeekness. And I want to thank my housemate for creating this merch, for using me as a model, and for sponsoring this video. So yes, do make sure you sign up and get something when the store goes up.
These are fire.
All right.
These are fire.
These are fire. And they're very comfy. You can see clearly I wore them.
This is Bruno, right? Yeah, so Bruno's art, man. This is amazing.
Bruno'sArt.com.
You're going places.
Yes.
Next time I'll fly out to be a model. You want me just in the shirt, no pants, no shirt?
I was wearing no pants, fun fact.
I'll do the underwear modeling.
Alrighty.
I'll do the thong modeling.
Sounds good. All right, let's get to your live questions now. And let's start with... why doesn't this go up anymore? Okay, never mind. We had a problem with the chat because now it's not going up anymore, so I might miss a few questions.
Glitching. So just everyone, if you ask something really, really early on, this is the one time I will say, please re-put
this is the earliest one I have. This is the earliest one I have. So if you ask something before that, a really good question, you really want us to answer it, just make sure you type it again because it's StreamYard's fault. But all right. Yoshi King asks, who do you think should be in the next Batman movie? I mean, we talked about this last week. It's Mr. Freeze and Clayface are my number 1 and 2, I guess. Patrick, I think you answered this as well, but who do you think should be in the next Batman movie?
I was the exact same with Clayface, and I want to see a return for Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze. I'm kidding. I just want Mr. Freeze.
Haha! The dinosaurs. The Ice Age.
Kill the Ice Age.
Zach, what about you? The same two villains?
I mean, I've been saying Clayface and Mr. Freeze. I want Giancarlo Esposito as Mr. Freeze or Jason Isaacs as Mr. Freeze.
Ooh. Nice. Those are both good castings. I wouldn't mind. Alrighty, let's get to the next one. Is that Kirsty Krab? I think this is for Patrick, though I'm not sure because I'm not sure who Krusty Krab is. Who is that? The guy from SpongeBob?
It's
Patrick.
You don't get it.
Oh, it's Patrick.
But yeah, it's from the show. It's a joke from the show.
Okay.
Patrick got it. Patrick got it.
Pizza for you and me.
Lady Aaron, by the way, is this the first time that there's ever been 4 people in a Geeks of the Roundtable episode? No,
very
it is
early
not.
in the show.
Very early on. It wasn't the first episode. It was like the second or third episode. We had Sean Chandler and Griffin at the same time. Yes, and I actually don't know, but I think we've had 5 people.
Dwayne
and Hannah as well.
Yeah.
But I think we've had 5 people at one point, but I'm not sure. But yes, we've had at least 4 people before on the show. That's for sure. So yes, it's happened before. Joe Fletcher, will you be watching the Netflix event? I don't know. I don't know if there's
save the Red Notice trailer for that. I was kind of shocked that they didn't.
No clue.
So now I'm wondering...
maybe they're announcing more 2022 stuff.
Maybe. But I thought it was going to be like a trailer thing, because now I'm wondering, I'm like, what else is going to be there? Because you only had really Red Notice, Army of Thieves, and Witcher this year. So... you know what will be there? The Cobra Kai trailer. The Cobra Kai Season 4 trailer.
Oh, yeah.
Will be there.
I'm still waiting to hear something that will convince me to watch it.
We're apparently getting something for Cowboy Bebop.
Okay, I'm watching it. That's it. That's all I need.
I started Cowboy Bebop, by the way.
Yes! How far along are you?
It's so fucking good. I'm about 5 episodes, and it's like My Hero. I just want to keep going. I just want to keep fucking going.
You'll finish that one real... So if you're in episode 5, because James, real James, good friend of the show, good friend of mine, and good friend of Zach. Not sure if it's a good friend of Patrick, but he's a good guy, so I would bet yes.
We've interacted once or twice.
Okay. So... I'm not sure anymore because it's been a while since I last watched Cowboy Bebop, but I believe it is episode like 5 or 6 where you really get to see the first glimpse of the big story going on, where you first meet Vicious. Have you met Vicious, Patrick?
No. Not yet.
Okay.
I think that is the
okay.
episode
So maybe
I'm
it's
now
episode 6. Okay, so maybe it's episode 6. It's early on. It's like 5, 6, 7, something like that. Because when you meet Vicious, you'll remember who Vicious is. But yes, it's an incredible show. I'll absolutely watch it just for Cowboy Bebop alone. But again, outside of that, I really don't know what they're gonna present or what to be excited about.
Army of Thieves. Cobra Kai. I have the list up here right now.
Okay.
Something called Hellbound, Extraction, Emily in Paris, The Crown, Vikings, Valhalla, The Witcher Blood Origin, The Umbrella Academy is getting something as well, it seems. Stranger Things is getting something. Sex Education, which is weird because Sex Education Season 3 is this month, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
That's a little odd then. So maybe we're getting like a Season 4 announcement or something. The Sandman is also
having something. When is it? Do you have the date?
25th of September.
That's all because Sex Education comes out the 17th of September.
Which is why
maybe they'll present Season 4. I don't know.
That's exactly what I mean. Like it might be a Season 4 announcement.
Yeah.
But
alrighty. Jico EP. If I'm being honest, I'm nervous about Black Adam. Wasn't a fan of Jungle Cruise, and I know it's the same director. I actually feel the exact opposite way because I didn't know what to feel about because I never thought Jean-Colette Serra was like right for Black Adam, and I like movies he's done before. I am actually a big fan of Nonstop. I really like Nonstop with Liam Neeson, the one on the plane. Yes, but I also don't like The Shallows at all.
Okay, fuck off.
I don't like that movie.
Same.
It's not horrible. It's not movie. Out of all the shark movies, and there's only one good one off the top of my head, The Shallows is certainly far from being the worst, okay? It's also far from being the best.
LL Cool J.
Well, Deep Blue Sea is great, just not the same kind of great that Jaws is. But yeah. But after Jungle Cruise, I'm actually really excited to see what he does with the Black Adam, because I thought his direction was really great. Again, I was a big fan of Jungle Cruise. That movie really surprised me. Patrick, have you seen Jungle Cruise, and are you more or less excited for Black Adam after that movie, if you've seen it?
I got 30 minutes into Jungle Cruise, and I passed out on the couch. I passed out. It just wasn't for me.
You know what made me fall asleep? The Shallows. Never finished it.
You know what made me fall asleep?
Whoa, I at
Jungle
least have
Cruise.
finished it. I'll say that.
I took a shit while watching The Shallows, and I still couldn't stay awake.
But no, I honestly, although Jungle Cruise wasn't for me, like I'm probably gonna revisit it because my family really enjoyed it.
Do revisit it.
I'll revisit it because I only got 30 minutes in and I fell asleep. I don't know what it was. I just wasn't feeling it that day, I think. But
were you watching it late at night?
No, it was like middle of the day.
Oh, okay.
Granted, it was only like 2 weeks ago.
But Patrick, let's be honest. How much sleep did you get the day before?
Around about 13 hours.
Oh, okay.
Wow. I mean, either a little sleep or a lot of sleep will make you sleepy. That's just how it works, to be honest.
That's why you just need to not sleep at all.
I know I've talked to both of you about it. I've been going through some physical health issues, so it was like during that period when that was starting, and I'm really tired all the time because of it. That's when it was. But in all honesty, I found like the first 30 minutes really boring. But I do have full faith in Jem Sarah. I love Nonstop. I really enjoy Run All Night. Although I didn't like what was it, the commuter. Yeah, I didn't like it that much.
You did that one
too? But I thought his direction was really good. I just didn't think that the narrative or anything else was really all that interesting, especially the whole like I'm Spartacus moment near the end. I'm like, fuck off.
I didn't like that either.
No, but he's a very talented director, and I'm very interested to see what he does with a comic book movie, especially because he's very well known for like his contained thrillers. So I'm interested to see what he does with a much more broader sort of big action CB movie.
For sure. Zach, what about you?
I mean, I would have preferred someone else to direct the film, but people surprise you, you know? I like Jungle Cruise, and I got a little bit more faith from him. But Black Adam's going to be a different movie than anything he's ever done. I mean, that's just the truth. So it's going to be his biggest film yet. I'm still shocked we still don't have a look at what Dwayne Johnson looks at like in the uniform, but we obviously will get that on DC Fandom.
We got to look at his back and neck muscles.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of those.
Veins. And there's a lot of those. He never skips the day.
I really hope they still keep him like a villain because Black Adam's a really cool character. So
I'm with you on there. If they turn him into a hero, I mean, obviously it depends how they do it. Maybe it works in the film, but I would so much prefer like keep him a villain. He's a bad guy, and it's cool to be a bad guy.
I want the Justice Society to go against him. That's my thing. I want the Justice Society to go against him.
For sure.
Isn't he meant to be one of the villains in the new Shazam?
No, he's not in Shazam. He's not in Shazam too.
I mean, in the comics, yes, he is like the Joker.
He's the main villain.
Shazam's Batman, but he's not in the movie.
He's not.
As far as we know,
they said the reason they didn't want to do him, and they thought about it, was because they don't want Dwayne taking away from Shazam himself. That's why they didn't put him in the first one. That's why they're not doing it.
Which he would. Right. Let's all face it.
So I believe he'll be in the third one though. I think that's kind of their plan, was to do Black Adam in the third one. But let me say this. I think Henry Cavill is going to show up at DC Fandom during the Black Adam panel. I forgot to mention that when we were talking about it. I don't want to give you hope. I just don't. I think Dwayne knows what the fans want.
Oh, he does. I'm absolutely sure he does. Warner Brothers knows too, but they're not doing shit about it.
I know, but that's why I think Dwayne knows what the fans want, and I think I think Superman's going to be in Black Adam. I really do. And
let's hope you're right.
I'll put it this way. I think the third Shazam film will be Shazam and Superman versus Black Adam. I think they're gonna.
Like that short film that came out a few years ago with one of the animated movies. That one's really cool. I wish it was a full movie.
Yeah, me too.
All right, Luis Feliciano with Dune having a 7-minute standing ovation at the Venice Film Festival. Does this make you guys more excited for the film? As if it was possible, but yes, it does. Excuse me. I am tremendously excited for this film. It's my number one most anticipated movie of the year right now. I truly believe either Dune or Eternals are the only ones that I can see taking my number one spot of the year, which hasn't changed since January or February, very early in the year. So yes, tremendously excited for Dune. As if it was possible, turns out it is. Patrick, what about you? Do not disappoint me with your answer.
Really quickly, after I give my answer, I do need to duck to the bathroom quickly.
Yeah,
but
of course.
I don't know. I'm excited for Dune. I really am. I want to see the scope and the spectacle that Denise does bring to the screen, because I fucking adored Blade Runner 2049. And you know what? I've loved all of his films. Like, he's never disappointed me.
He is for me, and I know Ren will say Nolan, he's for me my favorite working director right now. And I only say, and I know Ren loves him too, but when I look at the last...
He's top 3
6
for
films
sure.
this guy makes.
Mm-hmm.
They're all perfect, almost to me. Almost every film is perfect of his. When I look at Nolan's, there's one movie that's not perfect for me out of the last few, and that's it. So, no, fuck you. That's my favorite one. So I just
Interstellar bored me.
Man. You're insane. If I could,
because when I say Interstellar is my least favorite, I still love it. Like, Interstellar is at the bottom, but I love them all.
Hey, okay, I say that in the same vein of, like, I don't enjoy Back to the Future. I still admit they are brilliant films with great technical, achievements.
Still never seen the third one.
Movies. They're just not for me personally. Interstellar, Back to the Future, don't enjoy them, but I will not deny the technical brilliance that is just, displayed on screen. It's not that they're bad, in my opinion. I think they're still great. It's just I don't personally enjoy them.
At least you're a good family guy. There's a lot of people out there that'll be like, just completely discredit you. And it's like, we don't have to have the same opinion, but at least give me a reason why. But yeah, I mean, Dune is my most anticipated film. And from what I've been reading, I'm not going to go over the reactions here because Brian doesn't want to know anything. And I know 2 people who have seen it. Now,
I've already seen too much.
And I've talked to both, and there's spoilers on the timeline, so be careful. There's 2 things that I've heard about it. Is that it's literally the best thing about it, and especially if you've ever tried reading the book or did get through the book is very heavy in political stuff and all those elements. I've heard it compared to Game of Thrones and Star Wars, which that's exactly what I wanted it to be.
Gimme.
Am I the only one who enjoys the political stuff in Phantom Menace, by the way?
Yes. In Phantom Menace, yes. If you ask me, am I the only one who enjoys like political stuff in my movies, in my fantasy? No, you're not the only one, because I love Game of Thrones because of that, because of the political stuff.
Let's reiterate that. Political things with George Lucas writing them for Star Wars.
But anything George Lucas writing for Star Wars.
I also think Phantom Menace is better than Rogue One, so what does that say compared?
Doesn't make you look good, Patrick, I'll say that much.
Yeah, well, at least Phantom Menace gave me characters I cared about.
Oh, no, it didn't. Shut up.
Watto, man. I liked him more than...
the racist? You like the racist? You cared about the racist? The slave owner? The Michael Fassbender in 12 Years a Slave of Star Wars? You cared about that guy?
Do you guys know Michael Fassbender actually plays Watto?
No, he doesn't.
No. Look it up on IMDb right now. It's on there.
I don't want to believe that. All I'm going to say is the Watto voice is so similar to Gimli in Lord of the Rings that it's kind of easy to not... I can never unhear it. Like, I watched Phantom Menace and Lord of the Rings back-to-back one day. I know, weird combination. And then I'm like, is that the same actor who played Gimli? It's not, but...
It's not.
It sounds so similar.
They have a cute little plushie of him at the Disney store right now. My girlfriend was like, why do they have a racist as a cute plushie? And I was like, why does he even look cute? He's not cute. He's fucking ugly.
He is. All right. Bruna shares her weekly ranking. Weekly ranking is Handmaid's Tale Season 4.
You can run
it's all Handmaid's Tale Season 4. Yeah, go ahead. Feel free. She started watching Handmaid's Tale Season 4. Apparently, she stayed up until 2 a.m. Watching those episodes. So... yeah, she's very, very addicted.
It's a really good show. I need to watch.
Show.
I need to catch up on.
Yeah, never seen it. Never seen it. I'll definitely. It's one of the shows. I'll watch it before I die. But I don't have I don't have it as a priority. I don't want to
catch back up until it's done. That's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, that's kind of.
So I know, they announced the final season. They're like, this is the final season.
I'm doing that exact thing with Peaky Blinders. The final season is about to come out. I'm like, okay, when the final season comes out, I'll start watching it because it's a show that seems like it's up my alley.
Oh, right.
I just have not
you would
started.
love it. It's really good.
Yeah,
it's really, really good.
Alrighty. Movie fan, did you guys see the Moonfall trailer? What do you guys think? So, I saw that it was out, and immediately I was like, I haven't heard about this movie, but the name is strangely familiar. I went to IMDb. It's a Roland Emmerich movie, so I stayed away from the trailer. I want to go into that film completely blind, because I love Roland Emmerich movies nowadays, for all the wrong reasons. Geostorm is an amazing experience to watch because it's so fucking bad. So I cannot wait to see Moonfall. Maybe it does look good, I haven't seen the trailer, just to be clear. But Roland Emmerich has a track record nowadays that is not very good for me. Zach, how about you? Did you see the trailer for Moonfall?
Breaking news, Shang-Chi real fast. Breaking, Shang-Chi rings up a huge $29.6 million Friday, including Thursday night, on track for $70 million or more for 3 days.
Yes!
4 days, it could push to 80 to 90. This is a big outperformer here and a massive win for theatrical-only releases.
Yes.
Yes.
Take that, Bob Chapek. There's your experiment.
Announce that fucking sequel right now, boy.
Right
I need
now.
a Shang-Chi
Shang-Chi and the Legend of the 20 Rings. Let's go.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Moonfall.
But yeah,
we were talking about. Yeah. So I saw that. I got the press release for this, and I started reading, and then I saw Roland's name, and I was like, so then I was like, I'll try and watch the trailer. Watched about 20 seconds of it, and just thought someone gave him more money. Someone gave him money again. I've never liked a film by Roland Emmerich. I've never liked any of his films. Not a single fucking one. I've ever enjoyed any of them. I don't like the original Independence Day. I think it's completely overrated. Day After Tomorrow's crap. Geostorm's crap. Fucking Independence Resurgence was crap. What else has he made?
Recently, I can't remember. To be honest.
I've never liked a movie by him. Never in my life.
Never? Not Independence Day?
No, I do not like it. I think it's completely overrated. I would rather watch all of Michael Bay's Transformers films than ever watch any of his movies again. I do not like Roland Emmerich as a director. And there's nothing against the guy. I'm sure he's a fucking nice guy. Gets a lot of gigs in Hollywood, so someone must like him. I'm not a fan of his movies. They just do not work for me. I get it. He has an audience for the wrong reasons. But Moonfall just looks like another stupid movie that I have no interest in watching. And it's just fucking dumb. It's just dumb. I will not be watching this. I will not review it. I do not care. I haven't reviewed it. I think the last time I talked about one of his movies publicly was Independence Resurgence, and I didn't even do a review.
Regurgence.
It just ended up on Regurgence. It's terrible. Do you remember the AMC movie talk where I think they all went out for Dennis's birthday and John Schnepp's rant on that film? And how Dennis felt so bad that he took them all out.
Yes. Just this week, I remembered, not that specifically, but I remember something back from the Collider days, from the glorious Collider days. Because I went to see Annette again. I rewatched that. I was invited to a premiere. Really cool. Very happy to be there. Thank you to Mubi. And the director... So there was no questions from the audience, but there was a guy sitting next to the director.
Yeah, doing that.
After the screening, it was like, first question was, "Hey, Leo, how are you? Leos, how are you? And how is London treating you?" He just says, I don't know. I just arrived." And from then on, you could totally see this guy was mega jet lagged, because when there are more silences between the answers and questions than the actual people talking. And I remember that infamous interview in Collider Heroes with John Campia and Schnepp interviewing Adi Shankar. And the guy was just completely out of the loop. And it's one of the awkwardly funniest things I have ever seen. Oh, and Patrick's back. I remember that one. Good morning. Did you see the trailer for Nightfall? Jesus. I would love to see a Nightfall movie, but for Moonfall, Patrick. Did you see the trailer for that? Okay.
No, I did not.
Alrighty. Bruna says, to stop the Power Rangers fever, too many mouths to... I don't feed you. You buy your own food, Missy. And you're not buying my food, so you're not... Until you actually are paying for them, then you can complain. But by the way, if you want a cool badge like Bruna, there's now... you can now become a member of the channel. And once you do, once we have members, we'll have exclusive content. If you go right now to my channel, there's the videos tab, playlists...
It's like the OnlyFans, but for Ren.
Yes, and I will not be naked, so you can totally sign up. It will be.
I've been considering making an OnlyFans. I'm just gonna post my pics.
And so if you go to my channel after the community tab, there should be a membership tab, and all the info is there. So if you want to join, if you want to support the channel and have access to that exclusive content, make sure you do so, and I will know. I will get the notifications for sure. So thank you for saying to stop the Power Rangers fever, Bruna, but we will not. I still want a Green Ranger helmet, and now the sword is available as well, and I am very tempted. So that's all I'll say.
My Mando stuff's coming in next month. I have the gun pre-ordered. It's a Nerf version of it. And then the Darksaber.
Don't say that too loud, or my other housemate will hear it, and he's Nerf addicted, and I'm always a victim.
Really? I have one Nerf gun, and it's one of Boba Fett's guns.
I want a Nerf gun of Bloodsport's gun from what is
Ooh,
it?
nice. Nice, that'd be cool.
Did you see the rumor that they're talking about doing a solo series for him?
Yes.
I'd rather see that than Peacemaker, personally. That's just my... But I guess there's... Ren, I keep forgetting to tell you, I want to do like a rumor of the week thing, like something that's a rumor but not confirmed, like kind of segment. Because there's a rumor for Deathstroke right now that they're talking in talks to Joe Manganiello to bring him back for contract of the week, and I'm like, I actually really like that idea. That's actually a really smart idea, especially with Deathstroke, because you could make it feel like the comic book. And I'm gonna be honest, have James Gunn direct that or write it at least, please.
Yeah. Where are we? Let me find a question because we had a jump. I am so sorry. Here we go. Joe Fletcher, did you guys see that James Gunn confirmed that TDK survived the Suicide Squad? Do you think that he's in Peacemaker along with the character we saw in the post-credit scene of the movie? So go ahead, Patrick. Go ahead.
I don't think he's going to be alongside that character.
So you don't think he stars in the show?
No, I think TDK might make an appearance here or there, maybe in like ICU or whatever. I don't think that other character we saw in the post-credit scene's even going to turn up in the Peacemaker show for obvious... Are we able to talk spoilers because the movie came out like a month ago?
If you didn't see it...
Since Joe went to the trouble of not mentioning the character, I want to respect that. I would say it's safe to talk about spoilers for now, but since Joe took care to not spoil and be considerate, I say let's do the same.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Because if you've seen Suicide Squad, you absolutely know who we're talking about, so we don't need to mention that character's name. Go ahead, Patrick.
But for obvious reasons, I don't think that character's going to turn up, but I think TDK might at least make an appearance in the Suicide Squad as like either in ICU or he's in recovery and he kind of turns up here and there. But yeah, no, I saw that news and I'm like, well, no shit. He kind of just had critical condition during the opening credits scene and everything, that he was alive, technically, never confirmed. So
he was the only one that wasn't dead. I mean, technically dead. Like, you know, like he was just coughing blood up.
I have a rule when I watch movies. They're not dead until I actually see them die on screen. I learned this recently with Escape Room Tournament of Champions. Seriously, that pissed me off so much.
I didn't see it. Don't spoil it. I actually want to see it.
But just Ren, you know what I'm talking about?
It's a lot of fun, but it's really fucking stupid, especially in the third act.
When that happened, Ren, you know what I'm talking about, obviously. Yeah. I almost got up and left. I was like, this is... No, fuck off.
You know what? We've all seen Fast 9, so let me just say, when Tyrese got hit by the car, when the car literally hit him, you cannot tell me any other way. And when he should have been shot, and he survived, that's when I knew I should have been drunk.
Yes.
That's when I knew, oh, this is going to suck. Okay.
And that 2.5 minute long joke of, we're like invincible. Like,
I hate it.
They should have just said they had superpowers at that point.
Alrighty. Jigo P. Tony Leung is my Oh, hang on. Neither I or Zach answered the question. I'm sorry, Joe. So I agree with Patrick. I don't think we will see TDK starring in the show, like being in a team or a supporting character to Peacemaker, but I think there's a really good chance we could see him. In fact, let's say we had a Suicide Squad 3 or the Suicide Squad 2 confirmed right now. I think there's a better chance we see TDK making an appearance or several small appearances in every episode, or 1 or 2, 3 episodes in the Peacemaker show rather than the next movie. So yeah, I think there's a good chance he's there, just not like starring John Cena and Nathan Fillion, you know? Zach, what about you?
I'd be shocked if he doesn't show up at least in one episode.
Yeah.
All right, so we all agree.
I'm going to tell you right now, I think we're going to get a lot more surprises in Peacemaker than we think. And I'm actually ready to tell you right now, I think Bane's in it, and I think it's Dave Bautista.
Ooh.
I doubt it. I really doubt it.
I only say that because he wanted Dave for this film. He wanted Dave for this film.
I still doubt it.
I'm okay with that, actually. I kind of like
I'm okay. I'm very okay with that. I just really doubt it. All right. Jico EP, Tony Leung is my second favorite MCU villain behind Thanos, the more I think about it. I love him more than Killmonger, honestly. You know, after seeing it a second time, I don't know if I agree.
It's hard for me to agree because I don't look at him as a villain.
Yeah, I don't see him as a villain at all. But again, even though I don't agree, I can totally see why that is. Yeah. Because Tony Leung, the character is amazing, how they wrote him, because they wrote him as a human being. They portrayed him as just a human being. Yeah. He was never portrayed... He's obviously a bad guy, obviously, but they never portray him as that.
Very bad man. Takes his pants off and screams at me.
The character is amazing, and Tony Leung's performance only elevates the character and the writing of the character. I came out of the theater yesterday, and I typed this on Twitter, but that dude, Tony Leung, he acts more with just his eyes than I see a lot of people acting with their entire fucking bodies. Like, it's insane. Yeah. I just want to dive into his whole filmography too. In the Mood for Love, The Grandmaster, 2046, Hero again because he's also in that. The John Woo movie, Hard Boiled. He's also in that. I just want to see all the Tony Leung films right now because I just want to see his eyes act. Not even the rest of him, just his eyes. Patrick, what do you think?
I honestly like him more than Thanos because I've always said that Thanos is the best villain in the MCU. But the thing is, I left the theater watching, Shang-Chi. I have quite a few issues with the movie. A lot of them involve characters, a lot of VFX issues, especially with how clean the movie looks at times with like action and everything. It reminded me very much so of Kingdom of the Crystal Skull with how clean everything looked. There was some really...
You need to do a review.
The reason I'm not doing a review is because I've seen a lot of toxic fans on both sides of the equation on Twitter, and I don't need that in my life right now.
You should make your You should make your title "Fuck You." This is my opinion.
No, it's
Shang-Chi movie review.
I will do a review later on. I will in like a couple weeks. I think it's just with stuff going on in my personal life right now. It's not something I need right now.
And things will calm down, so that
you should honestly you should do a reaction when it hits the 45-day theatrical. That way you can do one, and then that can be your review.
That actually is probably a better idea. I don't know. It's just I left the theater with my issues, obviously, and initially I didn't actually like Tony Leung's villain, the Mandarin. What was his name again? The Mandarin?
Wenwu.
Wenwu. Okay. I just called him the Mandarin due to just one thing in the movie and everything. And obviously,
that's an orange, Patrick.
Can I be honest? It actually made me appreciate the Iron Man 3 twist again, because I went back and read a couple things on the Mandarin, and I mean, he is a very caricature... It's a very racist villain in the comics. I mean,
I still don't like the Iron Man twist, but I will never defend that you should have done a literal adaptation of that character.
But that's why
adapt that character to nowadays to the big screen.
I can kind of get why they went for that, But this was a better
still
version
don't,
of the Mandarin.
because I want to. Yes, it is a bet, but you still could have done this character
I will
without
tell you this,
that twist.
The one thing that makes me sad is we will now never, ever, ever, ever get the Mandarin versus Iron Man in the live action.
Now you see my point. That's why I'm angry at that twist yet, because
the multiverse.
The Mandarin is the Joker to Iron Man's Batman. That's what it's like. If a movie cheated you out. Obviously, let's say we don't get a Joker in the Matt Reeves, Batman. That's okay. I think what would hurt is if you have the teaser for a Joker and then it's just a guy who turns out is not that big of a deal and doesn't really matter. I think that's what hurts. If you never wanted to include the Mandarin, don't fucking include the Mandarin. I don't care. But the fact that they went to that, they promoted that as if it was the Mandarin. And for years, myself and so many others were like, Ben Kingsley is the fucking perfect guy to play the Mandarin. And then it was what it was.
Me coming.
That was amazing. I love those trailers.
I remember hearing that in the trailers.
And I do like... Yeah, and I do like Iron Man 3, don't get me wrong. It's very low on my MCU ranking, but I do like it. So, yeah.
But, no, I honestly think that Wenwu is my favorite because the best villains, in my opinion, are the ones that don't even feel like villains. The ones that have a clear motive, but a lot of heart and personality to them, a very clear motive. Well, I still felt that Thanos is a great villain. His motivation was kind of clouded, but that's what made him so compelling because he was kind of misconstrued a little bit. When it came to Wenwu, it was this determination for one thing, how he pushes his family aside, and it humanized him so much in a way that people said that they did for Killmonger, but for me, I'm like, Killmonger in that movie kind of had like 5-10 minutes of development with like flashback scenes. That for me was about it. And I'm like, I don't really give a crap, but I did like Killmonger. It's just that I didn't find as much development there that worked like everyone else thought. And that's completely fine. But Wenwu for me felt so personal and so real. I also felt that he was a villain in quotations, I'm going to say, that a lot of people can actually relate to in their own ways, and that's what made it so great.
That's why I call him an antagonist, because like when you think villain and antagonist are similar in the sense that obviously if you put a villain or an antagonist in a story, they're naturally the character that has the opposite goal of the hero. The difference between the two for me, and I think by definition, but I could be wrong on those, is that a villain obviously, but not necessarily, is evil. An antagonist is not necessarily evil. He can be, or he cannot be. A villain will always be evil, an antagonist not so much. I don't think the film ever portrays Wenwu as evil. He's doing a bad thing. Right. He's bringing evil onto the world. He wants to bring evil onto the world.
Ren's evil.
But he's never necessarily... I'm very evil. I'm the biggest villain on the YouTube film community, on the Twitter film community.
It's because you haven't made an OnlyFans yet.
Yeah, true, very true. All right. I certainly don't put him up over Loki either. Wenwu, that is, but he's very high up there. Okay, here it is. Network 98. The four of you, well, now three of us, because Tessa had to leave. Four of you, favorite and least favorite MCU movie. Zach, why don't you start? Because I'm going to look for my least favorite, because I don't think I
was gonna say I don't want to say because I just posted a video today, my favorite and my least favorite ranking with my girlfriend. So please go watch that video if you want to know.
Don't worry about it. Patrick, give us your favorite and least favorite MCU movie.
Number 1 is Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Number 2 would have to be Guardians of the Galaxy. 3, Thor Ragnarok, and 4, Ant-Man.
What about least favorites?
Thor: The Dark World.
Okay.
Iron Man 2.
Alrighty.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Oh, and, I put that one over the first.
And Black Widow. I'm sorry.
All right. So my favorite is obviously Avengers Endgame, followed by Avengers. Both of those were at one point my favorite movie of all time. Avengers Endgame still is my favorite.
He's lying. His favorite movie of all time is freaking Venom. He's such a liar.
Sure. And my least favorite. So I do, because of that twist, I do dislike Iron Man 3 more than I dislike Iron Man 2. But Iron Man 2 is the weakest film for me as a movie. I have to put, and I have Iron Man 2 on my bottom. Iron Man 3 comes just a little bit over because I dislike it more, but I think it's a much better constructed film. And all my rankings, my list for the MCU movies, now updated with Shang-Chi and the show so far on Disney Plus, is up on Letterboxd, and the link is in the description. All right, but thank you for the question. That's a great question that we're covering. Yoshi King, do you think the last villain is Scorpion from No Way Home? Well, not anymore. Apparently, it's Rhino, which sucks for Scorpion. But
stuff. I'll be honest. It's rumor. It's one or the other. I mean that's what it is.
It's one or the other.
I mean, yeah.
I've heard.
I don't know why the last one's so secretive though. So that's why I'm going to. I'm part of me believes it's Scorpion though. Like it just depends. What are you doing for Rhino? Because you're not getting Paul Giamatti to fucking play him. I mean, maybe you are.
Spider-Man!
I don't know what you're gonna do.
I am the Rhino. Jigo EP, I know a lot of people criticize Shang-Chi for the third act being too CGI. I fucking hate this complaint so fucking much. It doesn't make any sense to me. If the CGI is bad, of course, I'll hate it too. If the CGI looks good, there's not such a thing as CGI heavy to me. And while it was, and that usually annoys me in comic book movies, I really like this. Like Dragon Ball Z meets Avatar: The Last Airbender. Thank you. That's why I trust that a good live-action Dragon Ball movie is possible. I don't think it should be done. I'm not rooting for one to be done, but I think if they announce one, I'll be like, it's possible. Thanks to Shang-Chi, I can see it happening. That's all I'm saying.
I'm still not convinced with the Naruto one they're making. I mean, it can happen. No. They can do a good one, but you have to have a good director and writer. The Naruto movie
and good cinematographer. If they didn't have that cinematographer for Shang-Chi, forget about it.
I do not like because the Naruto movie right now, it is written by the guy who did he did Long Shot the night before. What's his fucking name?
I don't know, but the fact that's very different from Naruto.
Give me a second. Who's directing? He's writing it. He's not directing it.
Is it Jonathan Levine?
Jonathan Levine. Yeah. I fully believe he can write a Naruto film, especially because he's talked about that it's like he's very passionate about it. The director's Greatest Showman.
Oh yeah.
Good looking movie.
Yeah, I love that movie, but I don't know if I'd pick him for a Naruto.
No, that's honestly odd. Although, I will say that Shang-Chi literally had elements of both Avatar: The Last Airbender and Dragon Ball Z that actually made me so happy. Literally, I saw it at the screening with a mate of mine. Literally, that first opening battle with Wenwu and Shang-Chi's mother. Literally, my mate and I just turned to each other simultaneously and just went, Last Airbender, and like that stuff made me so happy. And
I went Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yes, I thought it was Crouching Tiger as well, especially the martial arts stuff reminded me way too much of Crouching Tiger, especially that fight between Shang-Chi and Wenwu. That was
the one at the end with Shang-Chi versus Wenwu. I mean, this is not a spoiler. Obviously, the hero and the villain get to fighting at the end, near the end of the film. That one reminded me of Dragon Ball. The one at the beginning with the mother and Wenwu reminded me of Crouching Tiger, and the one when he was training. And I won't say any more about that one. The one where he was training to learn the fighting style of the mother. That one reminded me of Last Airbender a lot because of the way they moved. And how they express the movement to one another.
I'm disappointed that
I hope Destin does the next two. If he gets it.
Have him do an Avengers movie, dude.
As long as next training sequence he does, there's a tightrope and a CGI moth.
All right. Trailer Gamer, the 10 Rings or the Red Room? Which one is, I guess you meant, more brutal? I think there's no question. It's the Red Room, because the Red Room literally kidnaps children, tortures them,
rips out their uterus,
mind controls them, whips out the physical, psychological, mental torture for years and years to make them literal robots that just obey your every order. 10 Rings is a terrorist organization, but everyone who seems to work that is pretty okay with it from what we can see. So for sure, I think the Red Room. Zach, you agree?
Yeah. Yeah.
And Patrick as well.
I do have a hard out in 5 minutes. I gotta leave that. I gotta.
All right, let's take 3 more questions because we're almost at the 2-hour mark.
Yo, my name is
Let's
Ren.
make a jump.
Let's Ren, next week. Let's do a musical episode. We have to sing the entire time.
We have to sing everything.
Everyone, everything.
Phantom of the Opera.
Oh, hang on. I see a good question, but I'm checking if there's a first part. There isn't. What movies, while not perfect, hold near to your heart? For me, the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. The first one was my first MCU movie, and I relate so much to the team, and it made me want to make my own awesome mix. That's incredible. That's really special when a movie has that effect on you. So fucking the Sharknado movie. There's so many, dude. So many. Definitely the first Avengers was one for me. I still believe that to this day. The first Avengers to me was when the MCU, as we know it, as we've come to know it, that's when it was truly born. That's when we saw, holy shit, it's possible. Because yes, the X-Men existed since the 2000s, but the X-Men had 1, 2, maybe 3 characters that were very well developed from beginning to end. And that's also okay. Because the film clearly just wanted to develop those 2, 3 characters, and they did that very well. And the other ones were clearly side characters, and that's fine. The Avengers, to me, was the first one that showed you can have these big stars, these big characters, and they can all matter and star as main pieces of this incredible puzzle that is a movie. The Lion King, for me, is definitely one, because it's the one movie...
But that is a perfect movie.
It is. I go back to it all the time, and every time I'm like, oh, I'm interpreting these things in different ways than from when I was a kid, when I was a teenager, when I was a young adult, now as an old adult. La La Land is up there for me. La La Land is really fucking special to me. I cannot put it into words. And just recently, like on a smaller scale, because it's one scene that if you take it out from the film, the film's quality overall is still the same. But it was really special to me to see my city, my town, as a part of the Suicide Squad. I love superhero movies. I've always loved superheroes. And the fact that my city, my hometown, my country barely gets mentioned in movies in general, but especially in Portuguese films, they never go to my town. Like, only one city exists in Portuguese movies, and that's the capital. It's Lisbon. And everything is in Lisbon. Everything is about Lisbon. But to me, to see my city matter for a character that is the heart and soul of a fucking superhero movie... There are no words to describe how special that felt to me and how meaningful that was. Zach, what about you? What are some of yours?
So I'm not going to some of these I do think are perfect, but just like in general, every Toy Story film hits me in a spot where like it doesn't matter like what complaints I have. I will just always defend that.
I forgot that one, but you're right.
All 4 Toy Story movies. Every Spider-Man movie too. I like them all. I've always kind of... Like, I just think they're all great. I got in an argument with a couple people, these younger kids who were like, Tobey Maguire's the best Spider-Man. I'm like, his movies were really good, but when you actually think and look at Spider-Man, they're all good interpretations of the character.
Yeah.
Some are better than others, especially for the time period of those characters. Tobey is a great Peter Parker. Garfield is a great Spider-Man, and Tom Holland's the fucking best mix of it all. So, you have that. And then, Star Wars. I say it, like, as much as I shit on, Attack of the Clones, Phantom Menace, I really like the prequels, too, because they're fun. They're enjoyable, So, there are a lot of movies
the prequels are still Star Wars. I say this all the time, and I take this, I fully admit, I take this from John Campea, because it's a great analogy. Because the prequels are like the drug-addicted uncle that you only see on the holidays. They suck, they're irritating, they're coarse and dry, and they get everywhere, but they're still family. The prequels are still Star Wars. So every time I binge the Star Wars movies, I watch the prequels. I don't skip the prequels. I skip the Clone Wars movie, but I don't skip the prequels.
Yeah, and then honestly, the last movie, the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, especially the first 3, I love those first three. That's my favorite ride at Disneyland. So like, obviously it's gonna be like up there for me. I love Jack Sparrow. I mean, I have fucking Barbossa's sword right here.
Oh wow!
Sword right here.
Nice.
So
you may kiss.
Right. You may. All right, Patrick. What about you?
Yes. For me personally, obviously, like you got this big ass fucking poster behind me. The entire Saw franchise. Look, none of these movies are perfect. After the first
one is. Come on.
The first one is not perfect. No, there's some iffy writing still. There's still some pretty.
They have bad aim. They have terrible aim.
Yes, but at the same time, that first movie like impacted me so much. Like, it's why I love the horror genre. It was my first ever introduction to the horror genre as a whole. I was 6 years old, late night TV, turned on the telly, the reverse bear trap scene was on, and I fucking fell in love. And it's inspired me in so many ways. It's impacted me in so many ways. And that's the entire series. Like, every time there's a Saw movie coming out, I'm excited. No matter what. And even if it's a bad Saw movie, in particular like Saw 3D or Jigsaw or Saw 5, in my opinion, obviously, I still watch those movies whenever I want. Saw 3 is really the only one I will not watch by itself, but that's because it's so overlong and drawn out. But I still enjoy that movie in its own way, and all of them. I feel the same thing about the original Halloween movie. That's my favorite horror film of all time, and it is by no means perfect. But I also look at the impact it had on the horror genre. Like, people are like, the first real slasher was without a doubt Psycho, and then Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But the one that really like inspired your screams, your Nightmare on Elm Street, your your Friday the 13th was that original Halloween film, and that movie as well, like, was impactful for me because I only watched that like a year or two after I saw, and it's once again one of my favorite movies. I don't think 2001: A Space Odyssey is a perfect film, but it is really special to me. I know a lot of people might not agree, but it's one that I can just pop on and just behold the marvel that it is, like the visual scope and technical brilliance on display. Films like that, and like basically all horror movies, like there are bad horror movies out there, but they're all like impactful and have something in their own way to bring to the table at least. So I can just say the genre of horror in general, even if it's a bad movie.
Alrighty. Penultimate question. The viewer Drew, where does Simu Liu rank in your favorite superhero casting choices? So, off the top of my head, I don't remember like having a casting choice for a superhero that I'm like, oh, I don't like that. Or at least saying I don't like that, and then I wasn't convinced. I believe I was always, at least even if I didn't like it at first, I believe I was always convinced when I ended up watching the film. But Simu ranks really high. I put him right around the same standard as Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool, Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, I was gonna say Harley Quinn as Margot Robbie, Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, RDJ as Tony Stark, Chris Evans as Cap, and Chris Hemsworth as Thor. I think they're also very much up there.
Ron Perlman.
Which one?
Ron Perlman.
Ron Perlman, good shout. Simu Liu definitely ranks up there for me as well. I think he's phenomenal in the role. I think he's perfect. And I'm going to take this opportunity to recommend you Kim's Convenience, which is how I got to know Simu Liu. If you have not seen Kim's Convenience in the States and here in the UK, it's on Netflix. If you're not from the States or the UK, check your Netflix. It might be there. It might be on Amazon Prime or any other streaming service. But it's such an amazing show. It's funny. It's wholesome. The performances are great. And yes, I love Simu Liu. He's up there for me as far as
I'm gonna head out, guys. I'm gonna head out. I gotta go.
All right, Zach.
Stuff. But just to kind of put my thing to this, Simu's fucking incredible. Literally the last time I got the same exact feeling from seeing someone come into the MCU was probably either Chadwick as Black Panther or honestly Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. So pretty fucking special.
All right, Zach.
Hope you guys have a great day.
Fun.
Patrick, please go get some sleep after you're done with this because it's like what, 3 a.m. over there.
2:05.
2:05. Okay, we're almost done. We're almost done.
See you guys. Bye.
Only one more question. Cheers, Zach. All right. What about you, Patrick? What do you think of the casting? How do you rank it?
It's phenomenal. I honestly, like, it's been a while since I felt like, holy shit, I love this casting for anyone in the comic book genre. I'm not with everyone in regards to, like, Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. I think she's fine, but I'm sorry, I just have to be honest.
That's your national treasure, sir!
I'm not going to have a bias. But, like...
You should.
No.
If it's biased towards Australia, anything Australian, yes. Even I say that.
Barrett as a murderer and everything in Wolf Creek?
I have never seen those movies, but yes.
Okay. But no, I'd put it up there with like Hugh Jackman, Ron Perlman.
Also Australian.
Yes, there's the bias. But no, even Halle Berry as Storm as well. I love her as Storm.
Terrible character, but you know what? Fantastic casting. I agree.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Terrible fucking character, but phenomenal casting. I almost said Catwoman for a second there, but
when you said Halle Berry, I was like, oh no.
Yeah, no. Storm, not.
There's also two or technically four. I forgot because. You know, we give, rightfully so, a lot of crap to the Fox X-Men movies. The ones that are bad, because there are good ones. There are great ones. But Fox cast Magneto and Xavier perfectly twice. I want to see Disney. I want to see Disney just do it once, you know? But Fox cast those characters perfectly 2 times. Which is insane when you think about it.
I don't think Disney has it in them. I think if they're going to do it, they're just going to bring back James McAvoy and Fassbender. I think if they
I cannot tell you why, but I can assure you they're not. Like, okay, how should I say this? For their X-Men, for their version of the X-Men they're going to have in the new timeline, the new version of the movies they do, they won't bring them back. I can assure you of that.
Yeah, I don't think like they could get it right a third time. I really don't.
You never know. Maybe the third time is the best one. Third time's a charm. All right, let's get to the final question then. Deminician Scott. Guys, which MCU you think is MCU movie is overrated? For me, that had to be Black Panther. I only got good reviews because it's Black. I definitely don't agree with that. The problem was the over-the-top CGI and storytelling didn't appeal to me. So I definitely don't agree with that. I really like Black Panther. I would say it didn't deserve the Best Picture nomination for sure, but I definitely don't agree that it's overrated overall. And again, I don't think the MCU has ever given us, I say this all the time, I don't think they've ever given us a full trash, inexcusable, redeemless movie. I think at worst, Iron Man 2, which is my worst MCU movie, it's very watchable. There's nothing quote-unquote wrong with that. It's very focused on setup and very little on the story at hand, but I don't think it's a complete atrocity, you know? GCOEP, it's also I also won't say Ragnarok. Ragnarok was very disappointing for me because I love the first Thor movie. I love Thor in the comics. I love the Red Hulk storyline. The Red Hulk, Jesus, the Planet Hulk storyline in the comics. So I was very disappointed with Ragnarok. I love the Ragnarok story in the comics. I was very disappointed, but I don't think it's the most overrated. Though certainly would be my second most overrated MCU movie. And again, I do really like this movie. I really like it. Guardians of the Galaxy for me is the most overrated MCU movie. Yeah, definitely. Like, cause you have it. I don't remember if it was your number 1, but you have it like number 2 or number 3.
Number 2, yeah.
Or was it number 3? So
number
definitely
2.
Definitely is not anywhere near that for me. Really good movie. I even like number 2 more, but I'm also in the minority on that. Volume 2, that is. So Guardians of the Galaxy is the one. Right after that, I would say Ragnarok. But I will say for me is definitely Guardians Volume 1. What about you, Patrick? Which one do you think is the most overrated?
That's the thing. I don't like using the term overrated because, like, everyone's entitled to their own opinion, and
obviously,
I think there's a major difference between something being overrated or underrated. Underrated, I look into like the fact of it didn't get the attention, it didn't get the box office numbers, no one saw it, like Blade Runner 2049. That's where I categorize underrated. Whereas when it comes to overrated, I think it's just more or less people being I don't know, it's more or less just an opinion, which is very subjective. So I don't like using it that much. I just think one that I'm not personally as much of a fan of as everyone else. It's not to say that it's an overrated film. Like, I will personally say that I'm not as much of a fan of Guardians 2 as most people. I'm not as much of a fan as Black Panther as most people. And Avengers Endgame, upon rewatches throughout like the pandemic period, I personally don't love that movie. I have narrative issues. I have issues with the whole time travel sort of multiverse stuff. It kind of breaks its own rules throughout the film in a way that is way too complicated for me to explain. Like, I literally did like a 5-page, like 2,500 word essay that I sent through to a friend of mine of breaking down how broken it is, but I'm not going to get into it because it even confused me while writing it. But, I don't like the term overrated because there's a subjectiveness to it, whereas underrated is literally me categorizing, as I said earlier, box office numbers, the attention it gets, and maybe even the reviews and everything. Like, a film I would class as underrated, Insidious Chapter 3, which I think is one of the most suspenseful and tense films I've seen in a long time. That movie... I
liked Chapter 3.
I think it's better than 2. I think it's better than 2 in my opinion.
2 is my favorite. 2 is my favorite of the Insidious. I remember... I didn't watch it like when they came out, because even the first Conjuring I watched just before 2 came out. And then after the Conjurings, I was like, let me get into Insidious. And I remember I didn't care... I don't think it's a bad movie, but I didn't care too much about the first one. Then I watched the second one and I was like, oh, this is fucking awesome. And then I heard all the shitty things about 3 and I watched it and I was like, this is perfectly solid. Yeah. I like this. And then 4, I think it's the weakest one, but I also didn't hate it as much as everyone else did.
4 just kind of bored me, and I have a problem with the movie as well. I have to have the lights off at like 12 o'clock at night to be able to watch it. Watching that in the day is an absolute fucking nightmare, no matter what. The glare is terrible. But no, it's not the worst movie in the world. I think that it's good to show that the actress who played stupid-ass fucking Kmart... No, the stupid-ass fucking Kmart from the Resident Evil movies can act.
Oh.
At least it showed us that. Fuck Kmart. True. I hate her in those movies. She's not even a character from the games. Fuck off. I used to work at Kmart as well, so that doesn't help. But, no, I don't like the term overrated. I think that there's a way to, like, say, I don't think a movie should be that high up in regards to this grading on Rotten Tomatoes. But people also forget Rotten Tomatoes is like the positive reviews, and it's all quantified together for the percentage of people.
I don't like Rotten Tomatoes because of that, because the way it works, completely off topic, I know, but the way it works is completely stupid to me, because you can have 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, but it's all people saying, yeah, I enjoyed it. It's
just
fine.
Okay.
Yeah, but it could be 100% just because of that.
If you read most of the reviews for Black Panther, it's like that actually. Like, I think medium. Its medium like score is like a 6.8 or a 7 out of 10. Whereas like I see other films and everything who have massive Rotten Tomatoes scores like Birds of Prey, its average Rotten Tomatoes score and rating is like a 6.2 out of 10.
Wow.
Yeah. So I've applied for my certification again for like the 3rd time. Wish me luck. I'm finally at like the threshold. So here's hoping. But like I'm
not even close.
I'm just gonna use that as like my outlet and everything as well, especially for when I don't have the time to post a review. But like I trust IMDb and Metacritic more than Rotten Tomatoes these days.
Yeah. So I see in the chat that I broke a lot of hearts when I said Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. I like Guardians of the Galaxy, so if you go to my letterbox, from Iron Man 2 to The Incredible Hulk are all movies I like, and I like them even more as you go up. To Falcon and Winter Soldier, to Falcon and Winter Soldier are the movies or shows in this case that I like. From Homecoming to let me see. From Homecoming to Captain America, the First Avenger are movies I really like. And then Shang-Chi all the way to number 1 is the stuff that I fucking adore in the MCU. And those top 5 for me and now 6, because Loki is at number 6. Yes, I absolutely fucking love Loki. That's the cream of the crop when it comes to MCU for me. I wouldn't change anything about that show or the movies ahead of it. So yeah. All right, and that is it for this week's Geeks of the Roundtable. Don't forget, once more, thank you to the sponsor for this video. Let me check the name again, because I forgot. It's launching at midnight BST. That's around like 15 hours from now. And you can use the code RENGeekness for a 10% discount. It offers worldwide shipping, so you don't have to worry about any of that. Patrick, before I give out the link again, thank you for joining us once again. Where can people find you online, and what do you have coming up this week?
No, thank you so much for having me on. I know it was like a last minute thing. I sent you a text and everything, and you brought me on and everything. Really appreciate that as per the normal. This week I've got my ranking of every single trap from the Saw series coming out tomorrow, hopefully. All 77 traps. It's a huge video.
Jesus.
I'm up to, because I did a tier ranking, and I'm up to Saw 6 in the editing right now. The video is already like 45 minutes long. It's a huge
Tell me in the
video.
private chat what's your number 1.
My number 1?
Don't tell me out loud. Don't spoil to the people, but tell me in the private chat what's your number 1. I certainly don't remember all the traps from the top of my head, but my number 1 is pretty easy. I won't tell anyone whether we disagree or not, because I think people know my number 1. Oh, okay.
Because I did the tier ranking where it was like S rank, A rank, B, C, D.
Okay.
So that was a little easier
ranking,
than like actually ranking 77 bloody traps. Like, I was like, nah, I'm not doing that. It was a long enough video as it is. I've also got my reaction finally coming out for Candyman, the original. I'm also going to have a reaction to Resident Evil Apocalypse later this week as well, which I recorded well over a month ago, but copyright has been absolutely terrible with that film because it's Sony. But I have a special guest joining me for that one. Her name's Lucy. She's a Twitch streamer who's also a massive Resident Evil fan. So she'd never seen any of the movies, so she joined me for that one, which was a ton of fun. We had a fucking blast shitting on that film while we watched it as well. But yeah, I've also got, no new releases because Australia's not getting anything new until the end of fucking October. I might watch HBO Max's Malignant, just use a VPN on my mate's account because I am not waiting for that film. I have to wait like an extra month and a half for it. So I'm going to be spoiled either way if I decide to wait. So not taking the risk.
Once more, thank you, Patrick, for joining the show. I told you, and I stand by that. If you're watching, if you're staying up anyway, you're welcome to join the show anytime, whenever we're on. And once more, thank you guys for watching, for all your great questions, for interacting with one another. That's what I love, seeing you guys interacting with one another, because it shows that the creation of this community is working. If you want to get more exclusive content, you can sign up for memberships and we'll have exclusive content. Thank you to Daniel Skinner for the donations throughout the day. Don't forget brunasart.com to get those clothing, merchandising, and Ren Geekness for a 10% discount. This week, I still need to catch up on a few things. My Shaman King review for this week is late, but it'll be up tomorrow. I still have to do Movie Nerds Club, which I'm also late for, but everyone else's videos are up right now from Rachel, not LC Screen Talk. He changed his name, Chili Boy Productions, mainly movies. Go check those videos out as well. I'll have reviews for the Mortal Kombat Legends Battle of the Realms that just came out. Yeah, I watched it the other day, and as you can see, I had no rush in reviewing it.
It's so
reviews
bad.
For okay, you clearly dislike it more than me, but yes, I was very disappointed.
I was disappointed, dude.
And I fucking adore the one from last year. 2 years ago? Scorpion's Revenge.
Last
I love
year,
that one.
Scorpion's Revenge.
What If review comes on Wednesday, and I'll be watching Malignant in the theater, I believe, and also I might review Kate, which comes out on the 10th, and also I'll have a review for The Voyeurs, which is coming out on Friday on Amazon Prime. I'll have a review for it on Monday, and that's a spicy movie, if you know what I mean.
A spicy meatball.
Spicy. Very spicy meatballs on that film. All right, everyone. Thank you once more so much for watching. Thank you to Tessa for being here. Tessa's links are in the description. I didn't put Patrick's links in the description because I didn't know if he was going to join, but you know where to find Patrick. And I hope to see you in all the movies, all the videos that I put up this week. I hope to see you in all of Patrick's videos, all of Zach's videos, all of Tessa's videos. So until the next one, love each other. Go watch Shang-Chi if you haven't. And
yes.
love the